I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hello, folks. Welcome back. It's Monday, February 10th, 2025. We're live once again. Just finished an interview with Dr. Teo Diaga from SAAI in South Africa a short while ago. Prep for the news. We got some news to bring to you. I'll get to that in just a moment, but I'm struggling with YouTube again this morning. I produced a video on MK taking AfriForum to court over treason. I didn't know a private citizen could file charges of treason against someone else. Treason is a crime against the state. How can an individual do that? But I guess we'll find out. I think to me, they're just a bunch of mamparas. Hey, Sean Fulshank, how's it going? But meanwhile, YouTube is not letting me publish the damn thing. It keeps telling me it's checking, and it won't do it. So I close it and I say save the draft, and it won't. It's just locked up. Unbelievable. Frickin' YouTube. Useless website at times. Yeah, so it's not letting me do anything with that. I've submitted the rating. It's just locked up here. So I make sure we're actually live here because they're playing games. I don't know if they're having problems or something going on there. So anyway, I will try to keep loading that video up. It's unfortunate because I'm losing views now while people are awake. It's 7:30 in South Africa now or 6:30 in South Africa. Now is the prime time to get this video up, and it's just not working. YouTube is just, and it won't even let me out of it. I try to close it, and it just doesn't do anything. So let me try to do it again here. And submit the rating, changes saved, and it does nothing, and it just tells me keep editing. I'm going to close that window, leave the page, and come back to a new page and see if it's still there. Otherwise, I have to reload the whole video again and go through the whole asinine process again. So let's see. Okay, hang on a second here. All right, let me see if it's up again. It's there, so edit title and description. It doesn't let me do anything with it. It's just there. Ugh, it's gone. No issues found. Sorry, folks, I lost my title. Give me a second here. MKPARD files treason charges. Unbelievable. Treason charges. Sorry, I apologize for this, but this is YouTube doing this, and I got to get this up now. AG against AfriForum. Okay. MK wins Mampara of the Week AW Award. Okay, that's not it, folks. Sorry. Yeah, it's maybe YouTube is doing something to their software again. Yeah, again, I'm not claiming I'm being targeted. I'm just saying that they're screwed up right now. So MKPARTY, and then I got AfriForum. Okay, let's see if this works now. Try it again. All right, got to put another thumbnail up again. I already loaded that crap. Okay, there it is again. And put it to my South Africa list. Again, apologize for this, folks, but this is the soup behind the scenes. Monetize it. Next. None of the above. Submit rating. Okay, that time it worked. Okay, now it's working. Yep. All right, so that video is published now. Hopefully I got the same title I originally intended. Sorry about that, folks. Be sure to hit the like button and join us right here. Update executive order. No, there is no update executive order. What are you talking about, St. John Swart? There is no update executive order. Let me go to the White House, and if I'm wrong, I'll eat my words. Whitehouse.gov. News. Dressing. Nope, there is no updated executive order. That's fake news, fake news. What there is a statement by the American Embassy. That's not an updated executive order. You need to be precise in the language about what we're talking about here, ideal and facts. So thank you for that, but that is not true. And I'm going to cover the public announcement on the website by the American Embassy. No, it's okay, St. John Swart, not your bad. Do you see why I try to be correct? People always try to, not you guys, but people always try to wordsmith you and play games. Like first off, this is the ANC. You can't give people wiggle room because they'll use it. So the ANC came out and said, there are no widespread expropriations of land. No one made that claim. Donald Trump didn't say widespread. And just like people are like, Donald Trump only let farmers come to America. That's not what the executive order says. So we have to be correct about this stuff, folks. All right. So thank you. And no harm, no foul there, Swart. If one of my mods could Get that into, I'll put it in the mods group, that new video that I just put out. Hang on a second here. There it is. It's in the moderators group now. If you could start spreading around social media, MK Files, Treason Charge, and hopefully that'll catch on, because now is the prime hour to get people in South Africa watching. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Understand that I can't get to everything when I'm doing an interview, folks. I do my best. If you do a super chat, it makes it easier for me to get to it, but there's no guarantee I'm going to get to it. Now, let me turn the alert box back on, because I turned it off for that last stream because I didn't want to be disrupted. Christo Els, welcome to, this is on top chat. Got to switch that to live chat. I literally haven't caught my breath since I went to bed at 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning. Got up and I've been working on this since before 8 o'clock. So, yeah. All right, here we go. Back to the top of the chat here. Sue Walsh is here. Welcome, Sue. Dolph, good. Mittag by El Kono. Thank you very much. It is Mittag here. And thank you, TY, for your membership. Thank you very much. Pablo Charlie is back. The Black Business Council. Oh, another talk about, why is it Black Business Council? We have a white business council. Oh my God, racist. Mark Meiberg is here. Jan Fleon, Kristen, Hendo. When Hendo's always here. Marius Fenta says, my question was, what is the view and opinion of local Americans with South African citizens coming to U.S.? Most Americans have no idea what you're talking about and probably don't give a flying flip. William Hendrickson, welcome to you. They probably have no idea and don't care, Marius. I mentioned South Africa, and most people just have glazed over looks in their eyes. They know nothing and they care nothing about South Africa. So I don't think they really care. Once you're in your you are in their neighborhoods, it'd probably be a little bit different. I suspect the neighborhoods where we have Afghans and Middle Easterns coming in and demanding that we have mosque and have Sharia and have in our neighborhoods every day would probably welcome people who don't behave in that fashion. Just saying. But some Afrikaners, maybe they're into Islam. Anyway, that's just a statement. Some people would like that, but I'm just saying. Anyway, I don't think they really care, to answer your question directly, Marius, and they probably don't know about it. Don't see too many Afrikaners in the chat, says Selvin. Yeah. Good morning, Maddie. South African courts are okay. Ian Silifant, good evening to you. Mark Meiberg is here. Armageddon says, see, Helen also has a short video up saying they're going to court. I haven't seen her video, but I did have that in the news. We'll report on that, and I'll make a video on it later on. I suppose it's better late than never, and I want to know why they didn't do a Section 80 challenge, and why they didn't even tell the public about it. Welcome, Taurako Railways back again. Eric is here. Okay. Dylan Combrick. And then we've got Holden Caulfield. Alfonso Ferreira Whirlwind says, I've had previously sometime YouTube. I think they give it some time before I could upload. Yeah, no, it's an error in there because I just reloaded the whole thing and it went up just like that. It went up like that. I'm a little surprised at how few views my videos from last night have. My videos on Ramaphosa's hypocrisy over diplomacy, that one, okay. But say goodbye to AGOA, I thought that would have been a big viewer, but that's not doing very well. That video is at 19,000 views and it's dropped off very quickly. I'm really surprised. I guess South Africans don't care if AGOA goes away. All right. So only 19,000 of you have watched it, and those who watched it will have heard the prediction here first if it happens. 36,600 subs. Yeah, please subscribe if you haven't already. All right, Tony, thank you for sharing that. Greg is back from Poland. Pierre Orban is back. Good to see you again. Did you see the updated executive order? I covered that. Jose da Silva, enjoyed your interview with the doctor. Thank you, Jose. Chris is being targeted. I'm always being targeted. I've been targeted since I came on, but not because of that video. Heinrich Schönefeld says, howdy, Colonel. Enjoy when watching and listening. Okay, thank you. Michael Osthuizen, they're trying to make it look like everyone who applies as refugee will be charged with treason. Exactly. They're trying to frighten people. So that's why I warn people, don't be rushing off the American embassy today. Don't be making your feelings known to the public. Keep it to yourself and wait things out if that's something you want to pursue. I get the embassy statement. Louis Render says, Blue Falcons in the soup sandwich. Okay. They just published a bullet point statement. Nothing changed. Exactly. And I'm going to read that to you. See, that's the problem. People go, oh, there's a new executive order. No. Executive orders can only be signed by one person in the entire world, the President of the United States. The American Embassy is not the President of the United States, so they can't issue an executive order. What they can do is issue guidance that's been approved by the Secretary of State to implement the order given by the President and by the Secretary of Homeland Security to allow for people to move here. Okay, it wouldn't be surprised how that has a social media blackout to everything that's happening. Well, I wouldn't be surprised to see that coming either. Missed the stream. Well, Matt, that's because I am still shadow banned despite all the people showing up. It's true. People don't find a lot of things. So you've got to join a WhatsApp group that we have or join the now Making South Africa Great community. The mods and I need to make some more mods for that channel, by the way, that community on Twitter and the Telegram groups. And then you'll get the videos. Right now, I can promise you every video I do is published in Telegram and in WhatsApp group every time. And like I just put one of the moderators groups, so they'll start sharing it around. And then we're now putting it into the Twitter group community that I just created. Watch your show with Dr. Yeager and more so your passionate love and support for our precious country. Thank you, Sue. Selwyn Fundameva says Mumpara spelled Julius. I spelled it wrong. I spelled Mumpara wrong. Damn it. Damn it. I knew I got it wrong. Rudy Holtzhausen, welcome back. Jenny June, welcome to you. Smee again is back again. The unfiltered, what was that? Unfiltered something there. It just jumped ahead on me. What's going on here? Okay, there we go. Unfiltered South. Okay, thank you. Welcome to you. Nick Muller and TY, thank you for your membership. Worked out for Mr. Sykes. Psyched because you just got a salute, even though you usually just get away for a subscription. That would be Amsterdam, Utrecht, Rotterdam, Den Haag, or even Herkenbosch. What's that? Okay. Lawrence McDonald, welcome to you. Holden says, ironic that President Trump figuratively assassinated the penny. Yeah, that's we're going to talk about that today, too. If common sense is restored in South Africa, 50% of problems would be solved. Yeah, I could solve many of the problems in the country almost overnight. Almost overnight. You eliminate BBE and you start punishing the press in South Africa for propaganda instead of reporting the news. Phoenix Flame, so much fake news stating South Africans rejecting Trump's offer. It's false information. It's absolutely false information. Many South Africans will not take him up on the offer, but no one is rejected. I've seen no letters sent to President Trump saying, thank you, but no thank you. And also people are saying Trump is giving land to farmers. That's not true. And Trump is only letting farmers in the country. That's not true. None of that's true. Don't listen to the fake news. Don't listen to the mumparas on YouTube. Listen to people who give it to you straight. There are a few YouTube channels that do that. I think Citizen Concern does a pretty good job. Ronaldo does a fair job. And Morning Shot does a good job. Here we give you the facts, and you get it from someone that's actually worked inside of the establishment that's responsible for all this. I served in the U.S. government for 36 and a half years in the U.S. Army and have worked in multiple embassies in Africa, the Middle East, and Europe, and worked at the Pentagon and the White House and all over the government with all the folks. And so I know how this works for the most part. All right, Rob, welcome back. And then Arno Reader, welcome to you. Phoenix Flame, got that. Okay. Trico Hawkeye's back again. And Peter, let's be faster than Chris. We hit 415 likes. He'll do it. Pleasure's all mine, says TY. Thank you. You want to engage diplomatic with Trump and approach him with the name Black Business Council. Exactly, Pablo Charlie. Not going to work very well, is it? Yep. Greetings from Durban. Chris Uman, welcome to you. Cracker Barrel Kids back. Daniel, how do we get out of South Africa? Well, I'm leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Not to be a smartass, I think you're asking how do you get the refugee status? Well, we don't know because no standards or conditions have been attached to it. Just vague information from the president Friday night. It is Monday. Please give it time. It will come. Blue Falcons in the soup. Again, there's a comment. The American podcast I've seen, the Americans welcome Afrikaners come to the country. Well, Charles, I haven't seen an American podcast because I don't watch them for the most part. And Ronaldo is here. VA is taking their own minister to court. Isn't that funny? Ronaldo, I think you have a stream today, and it's with Conscious Caracal, who's blowing me off. Ernst. To be fair, he's very busy. But not too busy for Ronaldo. So I bet they don't know and don't care. So Ronaldo, do you in fact have a stream? For those who want to go watch it, I don't want to lose my audience, but people are welcome to go watch that at the top of the hour, which is in 12 minutes. And you have the Conscious Caracal. You can go watch it live, or you can watch it after the fact, or you can watch this live and watch that after the fact, or watch this after the fact. But feel free to watch both programs. All right. Durban, Sean Sachs. Okay. I know the Four Trekkers group have discussions, debates every once in a while that constitutes being an Afrikaner. It's a pointless discussion, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't matter what the Four Trekkers group says. I don't care what Afrikaners themselves have to say, or what the ANC or what the MK say. None of that matters. And what I say in Afrikaner is irrelevant. Unless, of course, I'm invited in to work in the State Department. Clearly, I'm not going to be the ambassador to South Africa because Joel Pollack and his politically connected Breitbart News are lobbying for him to get that. So anyway, Myberg says, don't confuse Afrikaners with Ronaldo Khus definition. I'm not confusing with anything. It really isn't germane, and I don't care what an Afrikaner is right now. I care to find out who will be able to take advantage of this, and we'll find out. Renzo says, hi, Colonel. My son is not a farmer, but want to go. Well, see, there you go right there. Renzo, who cares if your son's a farmer? It has nothing to do with the topic at hand. Who told you only farmers can come to America? Where did you get that from, Renzo? I'm not attacking you. I'm just asking you. Who told you that bullshit? Because that's what that is, bullshit. There's nothing in the executive order that says anything at all about farmers or farming. Not a single word. And you can check the receipts, folks. Go to the whitehouse.gov, and you don't have to take my word for it. So, this act follows countless government policies designed to dismantle equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, and hateful rhetoric and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. That doesn't say anything about farmers. You think only farmers are landowners? No, lots of people have land. But that's not just about people who are disfavored on land. The people under the Refugee Resettlement and Humanitarian Considerations for the program for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. There's nothing there about farmers. No mention whatsoever about farmers. You are being fed a bunch of bullshit like mushrooms in a cave. You're being fed shit and lied to by Times Live and the Daily or News 24 and IOL, all these people and politicians in South Africa and the radio programs in South Africa. I haven't been listening to Jacaranda FM or East Coast Radio this week, but I wouldn't be surprised to hear people spreading bullshit there as well. The thing about spreading bullshit is it's very effective because you spread bullshit and things grow because it's a fertilizer, but it's a lie. So Remzo has nothing to do with being a farmer. You'll be allowed to go. We're a family. If you fall under the category of whatever's defined as an Afrikaner, then it will allow you to go, most likely. Yep. Tito Ponte says, good evening from Portugal, Madeira Island. Wow. How's it in Portugal, man? I've been to Portugal. I found it very fascinating, but I've only been to Lisbon, the only place I've ever been. Okay. Her artist, Swanepoel's back, Ken Aronson. Hey, Ken. What did Ronaldo say? What did Ronaldo say? It's so true. Oh, they're taking our minister to court. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, that's a long time ago. Crab Toes is back. Neville Crowley. Peter, you want to see Chris do a jiggy? Smash the like button. I don't dance for my dinner. Pokey Armageddon, especially since I've been putting on a little bit of weight here. I'm not as sexy as I once was. I'm from Queensboro. Okay. Just want our Afrikaners to know that there are Americans who are aware and are saying that apartheid chickens are coming to America to roost. Also mass deport, but take white South Africans. What? Americans who are aware and they saying that the apartheid chickens are coming to America to roost. Mass deportation, but I don't know what you're talking about, Allison. That doesn't make any sense. I think you're trying to take something in Afrikaans and put it in English, and I don't understand it. More views combined on Colonel's channel than on left YouTube channels. Probably, Morris. We are really surging right now, and thank you all for that. Marilyn! Hey, Marilyn and Lindsay, how's it going there? And there's Erica. The OGs, the original viewers on the channel, been here since the outset. Joe Cruiser says, guess stealing of the land is their earth-shaking ideology. Heidi, I've watched the media the whole day, and the ANC made it propaganda that it's all racist, Afri-Reform, Musk fault, and Trump doesn't have all the facts. Trump has the facts. It's not Elon Musk, and it's not Afri-Reform. Those are just lies because, okay, let me ask you this. What evidence does the ANC have that Elon Musk or Afri-Reform had anything to do with Trump's decision? Trump was president for 4 years. Elon Musk was in America. He was rich. Trump was rich. Trump was president. Afri-Reform lobbied President Trump, tried to get to him unsuccessfully when he was president. Nothing happened. President Trump became president on January 20th. He didn't impose any actions against South Africa specifically. Didn't do that until after he had a phone call with Cyril Ramaphosa congratulating him on being sworn in. And Cyril Ramaphosa didn't even have the courtesy to tell him on such an important issue like private property rights, which are required for access to the African Growth and Opportunity Act and duty-free access to the American market. Ramaphosa didn't bother to say, hey, Don, I'm signing this bill. I know it's something the American won't like, but we have to do this. So I just want to let you know. Didn't tell him. Then hours later, he rushes out in front of the cameras in Davos and signs it like a freaking Mampara and says, ha, look at this. South Africa's open for business, but we're taking your property. Not just your land. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Yes, they're taking your property. So, yeah, it wasn't even then on the 23rd of January that Trump did it. It wasn't until the 2nd of February. 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31. 9 days, 1, 10, and 2 February, 11 days after this. Only then, and only after the DA sat around thumb-sucking with their other thumb up their fourth point of contact, doing and saying nothing. Well, they actually did. They came out and supported expropriation. Well, it's not quite right. The sequencing has to be on a property. No, there's no sequencing when you take people's property without compensation. That's theft. It's not legal. It's not moral. It's not just. It's racist to blame it on white property owners for the property disposition in South Africa today. The largest landowner in South Africa is the government of South Africa. The government has bought 3.9 million hectares. Where are those hectares at? What has happened to them? Tell us about the Dawn Valley Farm. Tell us about the Ponderosa Farm in KwaZulu-Natal. Tell us about Ackerland Broderie and how they were forced to sell. And yes, they made money, but it was their property. So a coal company, Coal of Africa, headquartered in Melbourne, Australia, with a board of directors, 50% Chinese nationals, mining all 4 of their mines located in South Africa. And where is their coal going? To the coal-fired power plants in Mpumalanga? No, it's going to China. China, really? So those game ranch owners had to have their land sold, or it was going to be taken from them, so that a coal company could explore for coal. And they're not even producing coal there. But now we have a game ranch that was employing dozens of people no longer in business. It's all lies, folks. It's lies. See it for yourself. Ricus Pretorius is back. Good evening. It hurts that most videos from new is that white South Africans don't know what Trump wants, but in my heart, it's not so. I don't know what you're going to... We don't want to leave, but if there's no other way. Gotcha, Ricus. Kurtz Verhoeven's there. Don't care what they think, because I don't care. I gotcha. Sedgefield is back from the guard route. Welcome to you, Sedgefield. Good to see you there again. And let me try to catch up here. Man, chat just keeps coming here. All right, I'm going to skip ahead and miss a few people, so don't take offense to that. What's all this about the U.S. Army hitting 17, 18-year-old highs in the recruitment? Does this mean advertising gender transition stories aren't the best recruiting? I have no idea what your question is, Cracker Barrel Kid. The 17-year-olds are allowed to enlist in the Army with their parents' permission. 18-year-olds have always been allowed to enlist in the Army because they are adults. Growing to hate Monday, says Stuart. Oh, don't hate Monday. Yes, Chris is drinking a Coke. I'm easing up on the Starbucks this time. I can't keep sitting here all day and night broadcasting and drinking. I'll weigh 500 pounds. Peter says, guys, stay with Chris and Ronaldo. They will not lie to us. Too much confusion out there. Probably defined according to actual currently disadvantage. It's not only land, it's property. Yes, Chris Simone, I've said that. I don't need to go check it out. I'm the one that told everybody. Nobody, not AfriForum, not so. Nobody's telling you 5 years ago that when this thing was in Parliament that this was about your property. I've been saying that all along. And Corne Brits, according to Neil Diamond, 17,000 South Africans applied for info on the refugee program at the South African Chamber of Commerce. Correct. Fake news and AI person has to be very cautious jumping to conclusions. Yes, Newsflash. That's why you're welcome here. Most radio stations talk crap. Yeah, because they know what they're talking about and they're not getting the right people on. Jean-Paul von Staden, I really do hope Trump sees this channel. You're the only person that gives the full truth. Thank you, Jean-Paul von Staden. I appreciate that. I wish millions of people would see this channel, so we'd really, really be getting somewhere. But hey, it is what it is, and we've grown immensely. I can't look a gift horse in the mouth. This channel trot along, some days losing subscribers, some days gaining 2 or 3 subscribers, occasionally gaining 100 or 2 from a video, and that was until mid-January. Now, the channel really began to take off with views and go back to where it was back in the day. And now we've far surpassed what we ever did on the old channel. But we got back to the old channel's level in late December, early January because of Knobs and Keezy. I'm an ANC, bitch! Ooh. Talk about Mitchell's Plains and dissing on the color gals. Not a wise move. By the way, what's going on with Knobs and Keezy and her racial utterances and her threats to people on the plane? I don't care about her racial utterances. That's free speech. She wants to be a Mumpara. That's on her. I just won't associate with her. But her threats to the public safety of people on that plane, jeopardizing safety on that plane, she should be charged and likely in prison for her actions for that. But what happened to Knobs and Keezy? That's gone quiet. Where is the captured South African Human Rights Commission? Or the Black Supremacy Commission, if you prefer. Where are they at? Yep, most unbelievable amount of bullshit. Correct. Okay. All right, thank you, Jean-Paul. Well, people just go on social media and keep mentioning my name, keep linking to my Twitter account, and the more people see it, the more they'll find it. Link my videos everywhere you go, tell people about it, and it happens. People will find us. This channel has grown a lot. 5 to watch, 185 likes. Thank you, Robert Rankin. And we had 3,500 watching it in a live stream just a couple days ago. Die Normandie, they will most likely use the definition of wiki. Good evening, George Steinberg in from Heckport. Charmaine Husseman, welcome back to you. Don't fall down the Twitter back hole. It's dangerous. Freelance Kate, do you think they will only allow a certain amount of people refugees? Nope. People asked me this last night. I mean, what if you take every white, every colored, every every Indian in South Africa, and not that any of them or all of them would want to come, but if you took all of them, we're talking 10, 12 million people. We're kicking out 30 million, 20, 30 million criminal alien invaders. We got space for you. There's plenty of space. These people are leaving. Leave vacancies for legitimate people. Dylan says, my Afrikaans is baie mooi. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Dylan. Shave the beard for a change, says Crabtoes. I have shaved the beard. Are you not paying attention? It's been shrinking. Chris Nixon, thank you for your subscription. It's been shrinking by the day. Am I wrong in thinking if you're a victim of BE, you might qualify? Why would you be wrong? Why would you be wrong? Why would you be wrong, Space? As long as you're an Afrikaner, which has to be defined. It is any Afrikaner who has been the victim of unjust racial discrimination. BE would be unjust racial discrimination. Trust me, that one, no question about that. Okay, and Kevin Ziller, and okay, Southern Broadcasting is, yep, yes. Hey, Amanda, if I'm here, just wish people would stop panicking, start thinking clearly. I wish they would listen. I had to have unbelievable patience last night for a lot of people. We had like 12,000 people tuned into that live stream last night. Let me take a look at that, folks. Last night's live stream, oof, man. Was it last night, or am I getting, is it the days just running together now? Fanning flames of racial hatred. Yeah, that was last night. 8,500. Yeah, 8,500 tuned in for that. Thank you for that. All right. And my Afrikaans is delicious, says Chris Uman. Yeah, delicious. You sound like Snotkop. If the whites in squatter camps take the offer, but they have nothing. Okay. All right. Mossy Mustard. Hello, my from the land of the fjords. Ah, Norway. I love Norway. Beautiful place, but incredibly expensive. If I was one of the 400,000 white South Africans living in squatter camps, okay. Disillusion with the GNU, the DA are total sellouts. For me, the Afrikaners bouquet, okay. Catching up here, most people who will leave won't be because of fear, okay. Because a great opportunity for a better, safe working lifestyle. Won't believe how many of my friends here in Pretoria believe the only farmers nonsense. Please, Unfiltered South, tell them about my channel. The videos are there. Go back and watch the videos. I've made it very clear. I've made it very clear what's going on. It's not, I mean, this is so frustrating that people believe this because they believe whatever they hear. This is the problem with the world today. Schools do not teach critical thinking skills. People are not taught to think for themselves, to evaluate information as it comes in. You don't have to believe anything I say. You don't have to believe any of the words come out of my mouth. And I'm not telling you have to. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not making you pay super chats. Really not doing that because there's none coming in. I'm not making you become members of the channel. I'm not making you do anything. Do what you want. But if you want to listen to somebody that actually tells you the truth and gives you genuine analysis and makes predictions which are overwhelmingly accurate and correct, that's not a boast. It's a statement of fact, folks. Anyway. But yeah, Unfiltered South, I believe that people just believe whatever they're told. MK laid treason charges. They are wasting their time because there's no merit to it. AfriForum actually encouraged the government of South Africa not to remove South Africa from a go. And so they worked in the interest of South Africa, not against it. This is just racist drivel. Devet Thrawn says, does anybody have any luck proceeding with applying? No, because it does not exist, Devet. It does not exist. There is no refugee status program currently in effect for South Africans. There is no guidance, no rules, no regulations. The State Department must draft that. President Trump only announced this on Friday night. It is Monday. Monday. The State Department doesn't work on Saturday and Sunday, except for Marines at the guard post and people doing projects, or those in Arab countries. Like when I lived in Mauritania, we were off Friday and Saturday and worked on Sunday because the Muslims they worked on Sunday. Thank you, Yapi Brown, for becoming a member. So no one's going to have any luck to vet Thrawn because it does not exist. Who told you it existed? Or are you just assuming? Diana, thank you for your membership. It doesn't exist. By the way, nobody take offense. I'm not yelling at anybody. I'm not striking anybody. I'm just trying to be emphatic about what's going on here. Thank you for joining us here. Mario says, not wanting to leave South Africa without full facts presented. Need more info. Exactly. Okay. Catching up here. Does this mean people can smelt down old copper pennies for... I wouldn't recommend that. Because there aren't many old copper pennies holding Caulfield. Most pennies are made of zinc with a copper coat on them for the past 40 years. Trump does have the facts. Does anyone know where we can apply to be a refugee? You can't, Freelance Kate. You cannot. You cannot. The refugee program, as I showed on the first night, is frozen. Trump signed executive order on the 20th of January. See, this is what happens. This is why I pay attention. I'm an analyst. I follow these things. Trump signed the executive order, one of the first ones he signed on January 20th, freezing the refugee resettlement program, refugee admissions program, freezing. However, Friday night, on the 7th of February 2025, he issued an executive order directing the Secretary of State and Homeland Security to make this program open to prioritize Afrikaners who've been the victims of racial injustice. So there's no way to apply. You need to calm and wait. Love when you say bullshit. Thanks for having our backs. My pleasure, Rob. Ramaphosa has made his biggest mistake by going to Davos this year, and once again, he got led by his fat nose. Yeah, he made a big mistake, Ken. The biggest mistake he made in Davos was to say South Africa was open for business, and then moments later sign a piece of paper that expropriates property without compensation. Fool. What a fool. Is it true that all Afrikaners are welcome USA apart from Kurt Darren? Kurt Darren's welcome here. I'm jumping ahead now. Right, Trump got the news was through the media and internet. Does the ANC think the U.S. has no internet or can't read? Well, the way the U.S. got the news is because 4 days in a row, the ANC insulted the United States. Sona address, we will not be bullied. Okay, well, that was insulting to Trump in America. Friday, they joined a protest and an anger and a rebuke of the United States with 83 other countries because the United States sanctioned the International Court or Criminal Court, and they poked us in the nose again. Or in the eye on Friday. On Saturday, they started a campaign of disinformation and misinformation all over the internet and in the media, lying about what's going on. There are no mass confiscations. No one said there was. No one ever said that. White South Africans not being discriminated against. Really? Then how do you explain 142 laws based on race in which white people can't do things because they're white? How do you explain all that's going on? You can't. So that's disinformation. And then on Sunday, they made it even worse. Ronnie Lamola putting a statement out insulting America, saying that, well, isn't it ironic that they're giving these white people, the privileged white people, access to America while they're kicking out people who are suffering in need? No, these are criminals being kicked out. Legitimate immigrants who are here, those who came out of the refugee resettlement program, including 160,000 Afghans, most of whom have no business in this country, are not being kicked out because they have legal status here. Only criminals been kicked out. But not Ronnie Lamola can understand that. So that's 4 days in a row they insulted us. I have to look and see what the insults are today. The Expropriation Act allows company to take, it takes any property. You don't need to put movable and immovable. There's no such distinction in the law. It's property. Ben Hashem, I've been stuck in the same rank in the South African police since 1996. I'm highly qualified, but I'm white and pressured to do the jobs the officers who are given the ranks for. Exactly, Ben. I'm with you 100%. It's so wrong. Look at the ranks of the military as well. Same thing. Okay. Jay Scott, hello. I got to jump ahead so we can get to the news here, folks. Jean Paul said, how can we get Jacaranda to start sharing the truth and stop misinforming people? Are they afraid the ANC to actually say the truth? Probably. Afraid they're going to be shut down. Yep, I think it's the reason Agri SA came with their nonsense. They just utter nonsense. Do you know why Stellenbosch Mafia? No, they've been kind of quiet. Yep. A few buddies in the US and H2A visas. All of them are hoping to stay stateside. Refugees never come home. Thank you for the super chat there, RB. Look, Chris, thanks for all the overtime. You're welcome. Yeah, it is tiring. And never come home. So happy to have them find a future, okay? And I'm proud to be an American. Screw reform, says Rob. Well, all right. Dylan. Leo Funda Fifa says, hi, I also worked in Mauritania in 2016 and I'm a South African farmer. Would love to come, but still in 2 minutes, a sucker for punishment. Love your site. Thank you, Leon. Appreciate that. Yeah, I was in Mauritania in 2012, I think it was. Yeah. 2013. If USA comes through for white South African, especially, I can tell you that they will never, ever forget this gesture. All right, Emil Therrett is here. Welcome back, Emil. Jack Prower, green card, wants to renew. What incentives the government to approve a renewal? What counts in my favor? I have other questions. Jack, I'm not sure what your question is. You tell me you have a green card. You don't have a permanent residence when you just have one for 10 years. It's not a green card if it's not permanent. Green card is permanent residency. You may have a visa that's for a period of time, 10 years. That doesn't prevent you from applying for refugee status, but you can't be in America to do it. Okay. All right, cool. All right, we're almost caught up. Nova says, do you think the USA audit will shed light on the gruesome farm murders? I hope it does, but I doubt that that's going to be a focus there. The main focus is how the ANC has been abusing America. That's what this is all about. Well, meanwhile, folks, the MK Party is my Mampara of the week, and the video just went up finally after reloading it there on YouTube. The MK Party is the Mampara of the week, and I went to the MK website, to their Twitter account to take a look and see if they posted anything about their march to the police station. And unfortunately, I couldn't find anything, folks, and I have to tell you why. This is why. I'll show you. The MK, if you go to the Go to We Sees Way Twitter account right now, this is what you will see. This is what you will see. It is blocked. It is blocked right there. So MK official party, caution, this account is temporarily restricted. Some unusual activity on the account. Now, I don't think that's actually the MK party site. Maybe we're being spoofed, but I'll show you why that account's blocked, because it's turned into, whether it's the MK party or not, it is turned into the Andrew Tate channel. I don't think it's real. I think it's just blocked. So anyway, so it's the Andrew Tate channel. Look at that. Everything's Andrew Tate. Reposting the Real World, Prime Tate, the Real World Champions, all Andrew Tate all the time. I don't think that's a real MK party, but it was disguised at it. Anyway, the Democratic Alliance has finally woken up after they've shed probably 1/3 of their voters who are pissed off at them. They have finally taken action. A DA launches a court bid to nullify the Expropriation Act 3 weeks after it was passed. And very little time left to take this to a Section 80 challenge, so I'm not really sure what this is. They went to the Western Cape High Court. They're asking for an order that would nullify it. Well, Section 80 would do that. That's under the Constitution. DA Federal Council Chairperson Ellen Zill announced it in a statement today. The DA has asked the court for an order that will nullify expropriation in its current form. Space says, what drives you to help us? Well, whom am I helping, Space? You are amazing, says Jew Games. Your Games. Thank you very much. 140 rand. Thank you both for those. Whom am I helping? I started broadcasting on YouTube. Thank you, Wayne. Well, Vaynant, sorry. Vaynant Opperman, thank you for becoming a member. I started doing this to advertise my consultancy after I left active duty from the Army, because I wanted to do consultancy to get U.S. businesses to invest in Africa, to make money, to see Africa, and to get America engaged in Africa more so that our brands were there and Africans would profit from it as well. The lockdown scam started. I couldn't travel to Africa, so I lost some gigs. So I started making videos about strategic topics in Africa, the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, SADC, the Southern African Customs Union, counterterrorism, Nigeria, all this stuff. And the lockdown went on and on and on. And my channel went from 2 subscribers, which at the time was 15 years old, the channel, to 23,000 subscribers in 5 months. And everybody's watching, and I had a really cool time. Then I got censored, the channel was taken away. So, I mean, am I helping people? I suppose. I mean, is it my intent? My intent is to be honest and share with people my experience, my worldview, and the facts, and analyze things for people as best I can. If it helps people understand, that's great. But yeah, my viewers who've met me can share their opinions of me and what I'm like and how they think I am, whether they think I'm genuine or not, and if I've done things to help people. But yeah, I do go out of my way to help individual people all the time. I volunteer a lot of my time to help veterans, and I spend a lot of time I don't get compensated for. And I do what I can to help South Africans, black, white, and brown. So thank you for that. What drives me to do it? You come into this world, and eventually you leave it, whether you want to or not. We all go. Ask Jimmy Carter. He just died, 100 years old. You eventually go. I think we should all try to leave the world a better place than we found it. And I can say unequivocally, without any doubt, throughout the course of my life, on balance, what I've done to make the world a better place far outweighs anything I might have done that was wrong or inappropriate. So that's what drives me, is right, moral, and just. When I came back to South Africa in 2022, I spoke at the Reformation Society in Rondebosch. Dr. Peter Hammond invited me there. And I gave a lecture on doing what's right, moral, and just in the face of injustice. And I was talking about my experience in the military, in politics, and in Africa. And I talked specifically about South Africa, doing what is right, moral, and just. And that's what my guidestone is. So if that helps people, that's awesome. Okay, how will the U.S. embassies in South Africa be able to handle thousands of citizens showing up at their doors? Well, they won't, Chris Stead. They'll turn you away. You have no business going to the American embassy. You have no business going to the American embassy unless you have an appointment. So if you show up at their door, you're just going to be turned away. No one goes to the embassy without an appointment. Even I can't go to the embassy without an appointment. Can't just rock up there. You have to have an appointment. Even when I was in uniform and I worked in Botswana, I didn't just show up at the embassy. I had to have an appointment. I could show up, but that means I'd sit and wait for a while. No, you don't just show up at the embassy. It's very simple. If you want to apply for the status when it's made available, then you'll go online and you will apply. And they will tell you when you can come and go to the embassy. We don't go to the embassy. You'll be going to the consular section. We have 4 consulates. We have a consulate in Pretoria at Hatfield at the American Embassy on Francis Bard. And we also have, just down the street from the Chinese Communists, by the way. And then we also have a consular section in Durban, one in Joburg, and one in Cape Town. So there you go. All right. All right. Lionel Holtzhausen, but 2 of my daughters are qualified teachers' degrees. They're too white to find employment. They will now go to America and fulfill their life ambitions. Okay. Bernie Engelbrecht, the U.S. government must look at specific cases to get better understanding of what's happening on ground level, prevent growth, and enhance criminal activities like your Springbok. I'm not sure what you're getting at, Bertie. What specific cases? What do you mean? Sean says Helen Zille is merely doing damage control for John Gackhuysen. I have never seen such outrage in South African politics. John Steenhuisen backed Ramaphosa singing for his supper. And yep, exactly. You're right. You're 100%. The DA is dead. They've killed themselves. DA phoned me and got a walloping from me as I gave them my vote. Totally disappointing, weak response. Johan van Dalen says, please explain to South Africa if USA cut Amazon Microsoft to South Africa regarding cloud. We will be on our knees in one hour. Well, yeah, you're right. You're right. Thank you for that. I should very much point that out. Fouché Herbs. Yeah, the United States could cripple South Africa overnight. That's right. Because of South Africa's overdependence on data centers from Microsoft and Google that are in South Africa, you would find that if the United States under Trump sanctions South Africa, which is, if the ANC keeps insulting America, thank you, Space, for the super chat. And you're very welcome. If the United States sanctions South Africa, which is where this is going, AGOA is coming off the table. The ANC keeps insulting America. Instead of shutting their cake holes and, calming down and stop telling, they try to placate Trump. Well, he just misunderstands. He's misinformed. That isn't the case. They run around and lie about it. And they lie about Trump. Oh, remember the crap that Cyril said about Trump. Remember this. Oh, no, this guy he talks out of both sides of his mouth. Oh, we have not forgotten what you said, Cyril, when you were stumping 6 years ago. Oh, yeah. We remember what Cyril Ramaphosa had to say.
For this issue of the land.
This issue of the land.
This issue that
Donald Trump
fears so much.
What is my iPod?
This question of the land, I don't know what Donald Trump has to do with South African land.
Well, you go to find out. Listen, if they keep pushing this and Trump sanctions South Africa, or he puts tariffs, is going to kill you. If he puts sanctions, you're screwed. Because then Microsoft and Google will be committing crimes by engaging in business activities in South Africa. Yeah, South Africa thinks they hold cards. You don't hold any cards, ANC. You hold no cards. You have no cards here. The United States government can cripple South Africa overnight if they want to. I hope they don't. Stop provoking Donald Trump. Amanda says he's an embarrassment. He must keep provoking. Yeah, well, Chris, you are an amazing patriot, not only for America, but for all people under God. Well, thank you, and I appreciate that. We love you and keep on being an amazing human being. And there's another. Yeah, look, guys, a lot of small super chats are coming in. Fang1, Wannabe, thank you for the 35 Rand. If you're giving small super chats because you want to show your support for the channel, thank you so much. If you can't afford it, please do not super chat. Okay? For you Richie Riches out there, for you billionaires, feel free to super chat thousands of Rand. We'd love that. Anyway. No, it's okay, chappies. Thank you, Chris, for standing up for us all these years. You're welcome. Yeah. Rob, please type your comments in lower carriage so that they won't get deleted. Who's Rob? All right, so I've caught up on the chat, so to speak. Yaku Basson is back. All right, here is the fact sheet. This is what the United States Embassy put out on the U.S. Embassy site in South Africa. And the URL is za.usembassy.gov. Oh, there's a super chat. It must be one of Rob Herzog's friends, James Ark. 10 pounds. That's real money, man. Woohoo! I could get several of these for 10 pounds. Thank you so much for that. Even after YouTube takes their 30% cut. Thank you for that, James. All right. Yeah, Sean Folshank says, fuck around and find out. Yep. All right. James Borain, welcome to you. And Johan Besta, thank you for subscribing. Thanks for your work. You're a real American. Fight for the rights of every man. I do. Can I have your email address? I'll explain better. Okay, Bertie. One of the mods, if you're here, if you could put that in, I'd appreciate that. But you can find the address for email channels. You go to the YouTube channel, the About tab. You click on that, and then there'll be a place down there for reveal email address. You click on that. You're not a bot. Click on the box, and it'll reveal the email address. So anyway, Glenn Eric Heisemer says, as per one organization, over 250,000 Afrikaners have made queries and shown interest in taking up the offer as refugees. How do you see such a trek logistically manifesting itself? I don't see 250,000 Afrikaners coming to the United States. Not right now. Pixie Artist. Is that a different, or is that Jessica? Okay. Looks like it might be Jessica. I can't tell. There's the email address. But folks, I'm way behind an email, so don't get upset if I don't answer the email right away. Liam Minar, welcome to you. Angie Brand. Nick Groves is here. There's an OG. All right. Radical left followers that never had money. Okay. All right. So let's go. Yeah, they don't know what sanctions are going to mean to them. So, but they will learn when they have no jobs and there's no money to pay for SASA grants. This is what the American Embassy put out today. As I said, there would be information coming, but there's nothing really here. This is U.S. Embassy and Consulates in South Africa, za.usembassy.gov. Okay, so executive order addressing human rights violations in South Africa. On Friday, President Trump signed executive order to address serious human rights violations occurring in South Africa. So, as encapsulated in its recent Land Confiscation Act to seize disfavored citizens' property without compensation, the government of South Africa blatantly discriminates against ethnic minority descendants of settler groups. Again, I don't like the fact that Trump is calling it settler groups, because that plays right into the racist narrative of black supremacists, calling South Africans who are South Africans settlers. You're not settlers. You're not settlers. You're not immigrants. You're not migrants. You are South Africans. You are African. You were born in Africa. You have South African citizenship. Many of you have ancestors that go all the way back to 1650. And if you have mixed in you, Khoisan, it goes back thousands of years. To call you settlers is an insult. And I wish that wasn't included here. But anyway, it just all this says is what Trump said. It's word salad. They just took these words and put it up on a little site, because they had to put something up because people would be driving them nuts. Their switchboard is probably ringing like crazy. Erica just gave a super chat. Thank you for the super chat, Erica. Okay. What would count as being a victim of discrimination? Would showing official calls of violence towards white people count? It won't take much. You just have to fear persecution. Tell people your case. You can't get a job. You were denied a burst to go to university. You had 99% on the matric, and you were denied entry into UCT. There's perfect racial discrimination right there. Yeah, Afrikaners don't settle. That's right. You're not settlers. Okay, love watching the subscriber numbers go up. When I started watching, it wasn't even 15,000. Yeah, and that's on the new channel, Rob. On the other channel, we went from 2 to 23,000, and now we're down to 20,000 something there. Truth be told, there are enough Afrikaners. They're way past trekking anymore. Exactly. Okay, so the DA takes legal action. This is in Times Live. No government in a democratic society should be given such sweeping powers to expropriate property without compensation, which is what I said. It's not about farms. It's about property. And no government should have that power because they will abuse it. They will abuse it. The DA's filed papers in Western Cape High Court to challenge the contentious Expropriation Act. There you go. And in the toilet paper of record, the Independent Online, the DA files court papers against unconstitutional. Why do they put unconstitutional in quotes? It is unconstitutional. Section 25 is very clear. We don't have to go through that again. The DA has asked the court for an order that will nullify the Expropriation Act. Well, Section 80 would do that. Why aren't you doing that? Ambassador Ibrahim Rasool, a man who hates America, who is disrespectful and slimy towards President Trump and America, is now the ambassador in D.C. By the way, do you think this actually enamored South Africa to the United States? This race-hustling ANC cater, Ibrahim Rasool. South Africa's ambassador to the U.S. says the appropriate response is to be resilient and patient rather than panic-stricken. We're shocked, he said. The U.S. administration had suspended aid disbursement globally for 2 weeks earlier. And there's a couple super chats. Nikki, thanks for what you're doing, Colonel. My flight is already booked for the 19th of this month. I'm on my way for a conference, but who knows what might just stay. All right, Nikki, where are you going for your conference, if you don't mind sharing? And thank you for your 5th super chat. And there's one from Marauder. 199 Rand says, thank you, Colonel. Cool beans. Thank you so much for that, guys. Yes, the DA's after fact. No surprises this time. Yep. IOL is shagging CNN the bomb. Okay. Donald John Trump, no need to investigate when the race laws are enshrined. He has 142 laws. That's all you need. And you just have to fear. Welcome, Ernst. Just have to fear. You don't have to prove that you're a victim. Just fear. Well, it's a betrayal. The MK party opens a treason case against AfriForum. No, AfriForum has been treasonous. Oh, my gosh. They don't believe in transformation. They've lobbied the American government. Oh. Well, yes, they've lobbied the American government to not kick South Africa out of AGOA. That isn't treason. That's protecting South Africa's business interests and the country's jobs. And they don't believe in economic transformation when it means that the system is set up to defraud property owners and create a perpetual class of broke, poor, starving black Africans. That's not transformation. That's cater enrichment. Kate Richmond. MK is a joke. Look at these pretend soldiers dressed up in fatigues. Look at them. Pretend soldiers. That is stolen valor right there. That is stolen. I don't care if you actually served in MK in the bush. You don't walk around wearing fatigues. That's stolen valor. You're not a soldier anymore. Stolen valor. Unless you're at a retirement ceremony or a funeral, you don't wear that stuff. Fake soldiers. MK. The spirit of the nation. Yes, well, an act of economic sabotage. Well, that would be the existence of MK Party. Yep. MK Party lays a charge of high treason. How can a political party file a treason charge against an entity in South Africa? It's a state crime. Only the state can do that. No? I need to talk to my lawyers in South Africa to find the answer on that one. AfriForum has a long and disgraceful history of opposing South Africa's democratic transformation, shielding the racist economic interests of the privileged elite European settler, while disregarding the suffering of the oppressed majority. Could that be any more racist? Could it be any more racist? I don't know if it could. Go to hell! Oh, no. Ooh, bad. Juju tells Elon Musk to go to hell. Wash that man's mouth out with soap. Shame on you. EFF hits back at Musk over call for sanctions against Julius Malema. EFF has fired back at South African-born billionaire Elon Musk after he called for party leader Julius Malema to be declared an international criminal and sanctioned. By the way, I found that to be quite comical. If you're going to go after Juju for his behavior, go for him for when he actually, called for cutting the throat of whiteness or not killing for the death of whites just yet. By the way, if you're curious about that video, which got 66,000 views, you can watch that here. Yeah, YouTube's got problems. I'm seeing my data dropping off. Okay, they just fixed it. Yeah, they've had I think YouTube is suddenly growing again, and they just can't keep up with the data. So feel free to go watch that at your own leisure. By the way, also, if you don't mind, if you're here, when you're done here, go watch my video, Goed Constantia, and my history and of the wine industry in South Africa. It's a documentary, about 20 minutes. I think you'll enjoy it. It's been suppressed by YouTube for 2 years. We just went over 1,000 views, shockingly. All right, but if one of my mods could put that link in there, I appreciate it. Where does MK get those clean new BDUs from? Good question. Good question. By the way, those are American BDUs. They weren't South African, if I'm not mistaken. I've taken a look at those. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right. So what are we doing? Why is that? Okay. How can we be considered democracy? Trump must force them to scrap all racist policies. Well, it's not America's place to force South Africa to do anything, despite what the ANC claims we're doing. It's up to South Africans to change it. Ramaphosa envoys preparing to clarify South Africa's foreign and domestic policies. So now they're going to insult us by sending their Black Business Council and their envoys to America to tell us that we just don't get it. We can't read Section 25 and we can't read Section 5 of the Expropriation Act. We're just not that bright. Oh, yeah, you think that's going to go over well with Trump? I don't think so. Not very smart. Over 10,000 Afrikaners. I've heard now that the South African Chamber of Commerce has 17,000 requests from Afrikaners seeking refuge. Wow, that ought to scare the South African government. Wow. Yeah, it's important to note that no official process has been established this time. However, we're committed to keeping you informed as new information becomes available, said the Chamber. Well, that's what I've been telling you since Friday night when I broke this story for South Africans. Yep. 17,000. Yep. And I will keep you updated. No South African law targets Afrikaners as a group, says Thuli Mandosela. And again, this isn't germane. Who cares whether it targets Afrikaners? It targets minorities. 142 laws target minorities. See how they try to wordsmith. Well, we're not targeting Afrikaners. We're equally racist against whites of all sorts and coloreds and Indians. That's what they're saying. The former public protector has criticized a toxic cocktail of ignorance, which is what she has, vested interest, and malice. Former public prosecutor Professor Thuli Mandosela has addressed a growing international concern surrounding expropriation. She provided a clear message in response to President Trump's executive order. There is no law or action in South Africa that targets Afrikaners as a group. No, there isn't, you mumpara. It's not. Nobody's saying that. Trump said a class of people. He didn't say. Listen, your laws are racist. 142 of them preventing people from buying into South Africa. You exclude people based on race. You have asinine judges at your constitutional court who go, why are you here? Why isn't there a black judge or black advocate here? Are you serious? You have a constitution that says you are committed to non-racialism, and then you pass 142 laws that are unconstitutional and you implement them. You force people to give their equity over to someone based on their skin pigmentation. Elon Musk won't bring Starlink to South Africa because you want him to give 30% of his equity to people based on their skin color. Could you be any more racist? Tule Mandasela, you are the Mampara of the moment. What an idiot. What an idiot. The government of national unity rallies around Ramaphosa. That's a crock, too. I started making a video last night, and I just gave up because I was so tired. Wow. James, how do you contribute without the 30% deduction? That's easy. Look, I'm not shilling for money, but you ask, and I haven't done this all weekend. I could have made a fortune doing this, but I'll show you how you do that. Very simple. Where's it at here? Come on. Okay, it's not there. I have a PayPal account. I'm trying to find the PayPal. Where's it at? It's here somewhere. I always have a hard time finding it because I don't use it very often. Where is it at? PayPal. Is it gone? My PayPal disappeared. I can't find it. My PayPal is missing. How did that happen? Alternate sites, Twitter news, race card. No, it's not here. That's interesting. Well, I have a PayPal. If I can find it, I'll put it up for you guys, but I can't find it right now. I don't know where it's at. Mine's going blank. Oh, there it is. Went right past it. There you go. If you want to contribute so that YouTube doesn't get 30%, that's how you do it right there. There'll be a small fee, but PayPal takes much less than YouTube does. Yep. If you want to give me a super chat, PayPal is a good way to do it. That's the email address. Just hate everyone equally. Yeah, exactly. They hate everyone. But the government of national unity rallies behind Ramaphosa, and that's what they're saying. But that's nonsense too. They didn't rally. And I noticed that News 24 changed the image after I criticized News 24 over the weekend for their fake news. I criticized them over the weekend for their fake news. I called out News 24 for taking a photograph of the multi-party charter convention at Emperor's Palace in Kempton Park when I was there as an accredited journalist covering that event in 2023. They took a photo from that. They put it in a story saying the GNU is rallying around President Ramaphosa against Donald Trump, giving the impression that all these parties have met. That's not what happened. Now they've changed the photograph. Check this out. They've changed the photograph. Now it's a picture of Johnny Boy and his master in chief, Cyril Ramaphosa. They've changed the photograph. Look at that. Oh, John Steenheisen says, I'm a member of the government of national unity. This government is determined to have economic growth and jobs. No, it's not. And I will play whatever role I can to ensure that I protect agricultural jobs, agriculture as well as other jobs. We joined the GNU for an economic growth and jobs agenda, and this imperils that agenda significantly if these types of retributions and actions are taken against South Africa. John Steenheisen, there is no retribution taken against South Africa. Stop being a spokesman for the African National Congress's National Democratic Revolution. There's no retribution. You don't have any sanctions. You want retribution? You want trouble? You want this hellfire to brimstone to rain down on South Africa? Then keep talking your shit. Keep talking your cock, John. Keep talking your nonsense. There's no retribution against South Africa. There's no punishment in South Africa. Donald Trump has taken no punitive action against South Africa. You are all liars. You are bold-faced liars. You lie out of your mouth every time you talk. Utter BS. There is nothing punishing South Africa. Oh, but you took five. It's not your money. We don't even have the money. You dingbat doorknob. We don't have the money. You want us to borrow $500 million a year to give to South Africa so the ANC gets out of taking care of its citizens? No. Tommy Sides. I think the writing is sadly on the wall now. I've been here for 17 years. I doubt I'll be here for 20. Numbers reach 250,000 while I know the process. Okay. Where did you see that at, Glenn? I'd love to see that. Is News 24 owned by any political parties? No, but it's owned by Koos Becker, Media 24, and he's a wealthy South African. You will have to slow down the comments, man. Why? Forget about it, go. Trump should sanction. There you go. There you go, Liesl. Then that would be punitive. There you go. If 17,000 people are individuals with the average wealth, that's 50,000 people. Yeah, actually, that's probably a reasonably fair statement. Yep, that's a reasonably fair statement. Yep. And that ought to scare them. Maybe that will get their attention. Okay, I have a herniated disc and a constant pain. Every time you're sarcastic, I go into painful spasm. I'm so sorry, Nick. Sorry, Nick. Okay, now Gate McKenzie's coming in for abuse now too. By the way, I'll look and see if anybody actually used that PayPal because no one said they were going to. Let me look. I haven't been on my PayPal in a while. So let me just take a look at PayPal. Come on, PayPal. Log in. Please don't tell me I have to put a damn... is that right? Let me see if I got the right one. Ugh, they're going to text me. I hate this. Two-factor. Well, I mean, I appreciate it because it protects my stuff, but two-factor. Okay. Waiting for the text message. There it is. Yeah, that's pretty quick. All right. The number is 20,356,000. Sorry, I'm just giving you fake numbers there so you don't try to get my PayPal. 8,000. Okay, and it's not telephone, so you can't figure out what those numbers are. But that's just a one-time pin anyway. It wouldn't get you in. Somebody just gave me $19. Beth Frazier. Thank you, Beth. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Oh, Beth did it a couple times. Oh, on February 8th, she canceled it, and then she did it again. And I got... Okay, so thank you for that, Beth. So no one else is using the PayPal, but you're welcome to use it. Let me turn that off because I think it's kind of gauche to leave it up there. Right. Hang on a second. Now I got to find it again. Why do I have such a hard time finding? There it is. Gone. Okay. All right. Comment on DA's legal case video asking about Section 80. I kept it respectful. Yeah, there you go. Paul Fundenberg, welcome to you. You built a great country. Sad. You'll have to watch them wreck it. Yep. Pennsylvania's a beautiful state, but really every state in America has its magic. That's true. We're at 17,000. I want to vote. All the GNU do is show how corrupt people are. Well, Gate McKenzie's now coming in for a lot of abuse by black racists who are attacking him. Unfortunate for that. We'll see if Gate comes on the program. Rob Hersoff promised me he would be coming on the program. By the way, Rob Hersoff will probably be back on the program this Friday. And unless something else breaks, I plan to talk to him about the beauty of capitalism and the horrors of socialism, and we'll take examples and talk about that. So we'll see. Rob Hersoff this Friday. Tomorrow, David Ansara will be here at 4 p.m. So cool beans. Check us out. Yeah, 17,000 taxpayers out of just a few million they're paying. That's going to have a big impact. Montana is the best for Tony. Well, Tony lives in Alberta, which is really northern Montana. So. All right, let's get back to the Gate McKenzie story here because he's coming in for a lot of trouble. I can never say humba to white South Africans. Sports, Arts, and Culture Minister Gate McKenzie has received backlash over his recent statement that he can never say they must go to white South Africans. This comes amid escalating tensions between South Africa and the U.S. after the White House announcement of an executive order cutting financial assistance to South Africa. The U.S. decision is largely driven by South Africa's Expropriation Act and its genocide case against Israel. That's partially true. Known for his advocacy against illegal foreigners, McKenzie made it clear that he draws a line when it comes to white South Africans. He said, I can't say that. Whites are South Africans. 100%. 100%. Whenever South Africa is faced with tragedy or bad news, the people celebrating are always illegal foreigners, he says, Zimbabweans. So he also came in for grief because he celebrated Driekus' victory after Driekus wore the Trump t-shirt. And he said, you guys are fools. And so look at this nonsense. They give him an immigration form right there. Look at this racist here. Mamgikwa. Yep. Whatever happened to Gaten's reasoning capacity. It's a shame at this stage. White racists who want to go. Wow. The problem is that the racists who put this on there are just racist, attacking Gate McKenzie because he has common sense. And that's a shame. That's a shame. But, hopefully Gate will come on the program. We'll be able to talk to him. Meanwhile, communist, former dictator, well, not really much of a dictator, but leader of a free and independent Namibia, leading the Southwest Africa People's Organization, has died at the age of 95. Sam Nujoma is gone. Self-exiled leader of the Southwest Africa People's Organization, he directed the guerrilla army for a 24-year war of independence from South African rule. Sam Nujoma, the Soviet-backed guerrilla army in an uneven fight against vastly superior forces of South Africa in a victory that owed much to the dynamics of the Cold War, died Saturday in Windhoek. He was 95. Nangolo Mbumba, the country's current president, announced the death. He did not give a cause, but said that the former president had been hospitalized for 3 weeks. A bearded, bespectacled man given to trading his camouflage fatigues for business suits, depending on his audience. He pursued twin tracks of diplomacy and insurgency for decades-long quest for the liberation, a sprawling but sparsely populated former German colony that Pretoria ruled in defiance of the United Nations. No, Pretoria ruled Southwest Africa, based on a League of Nations mandate. The fact the League of Nations folded its tent didn't change the mandate. The United Nations had no authority to make such a declaration. All right, there you go. Sam Nujoma has passed away. Sudan's army is closing in on retaking its own capital from the rebels. Offensive reverses months of setbacks for military government, while rebel discipline shows signs of fraying. After a lightning offensive, Sudan's military is close to regaining control of the country's capital, Khartoum, for the first time since a rebel general plunged the East African nation into civil war 2 years ago. Where is the African National Congress on the conflict in Sudan and the deaths of hundreds of thousands of black Africans? Nowhere. They're silent. Cheryl Venant says, I hope President Trump will not listen to the few who are saying we will stay. Cheryl, stop. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. That's not germane. Trump isn't making his decisions based on media reports and social media in South Africa. Don't listen to American media that tell you he is. Trump is not a fool. This guy is brilliant. Whether you like him or not, you have to respect how smart he is. SABC thinks Trump and Elon get their news from them. No, they don't. They don't get their news from me, but they're far more likely to get it from me than they are from there. Going to Texas, to Amarillo. Amarillo is very quiet. It's in the Panhandle. Been out there. Dozens of Maoist guerrillas are killed in central India. Rebels known as the Naxalites have waged an insurgency that has ebbed and flowed for decades, but government operations have given them less space to maneuver. Dozens of Maoist guerrillas were killed in central India by government forces on Sunday, one of the deadliest operations in recent years. They recovered a number of AK-47s and several other automatic rifles in the clashes. Namibia has more for Congress than South Africa. I think you're being cheeky. It doesn't. The white population of Namibia is barely 100,000 these days. So that wouldn't even fill 2 stadiums for rugby. Budget Director Russ Voigt suspends operations at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Ladies and gentlemen, I predicted this was coming. Now, I'm not sure how they do it because it was created by Congress, and this might be a problem legally. But I told you that the Peace Corps is likely potentially going to be on the chopping block, but the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau would be on the chopping block. This is an unconstitutional organization drafted by legislation by Pocahontas Warren, fake Senator Elizabeth Warren, the fake Native American cheater and stealer and liar, Lügner and Betrügner, Elizabeth Warren. She, Pocahontas, she created this nonsense, and Congress approved it under a Democratic legislature and president. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which has all of our data, they're running around scared that Elon Musk has access to your personal data. Elon Musk has access to the government payment systems. This unconstitutional body with no oversight from the government, funded by the American taxpayers, has every bit of financial data on every American, a massive amount of data that's available for exploitation and abuse, and they have no oversight, none whatsoever. They are extrajudicial, extra legal. And this is a frightening prospect. It is a tool which any corrupt government official can reach into and grab data to oppress people, to destroy people's lives, to wipe out their bank accounts. It is frightening. To give them bad credit scores, to prevent them from getting loans. And it's disguised as a way to protect consumers. This is big government out of control. Yeah, this is what they want with digital economies. So this is huge news. White House Budget Director Russ Voigt is suspending operations at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Hallelujah! An independent agency that has been criticized by conservatives as being unaccountable. It is unaccountable. OMB targeted the CFPB after Musk and his Department of Efficiency reviewed the Bureau as part of an aggressive government cost-cutting program. The spigot that long contributed to their unaccountability is now being turned off. It's unclear what comes next, but Trump will try to get rid of it. So why are these two guys trying to gut the CFPB? Because it's unconstitutional, you dingbat doorknob Elizabeth Warren. It's not rocket science. Trump campaigned on helping working people, but now that he's in charge, this is the payoff to the rich guys who invest in his campaign and want to cheat families and not have anybody around to stop them, said Elizabeth Warren. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau doesn't do anything to protect the little guy. It spies on the little guy, and it does nothing to help the rich guys. So Elizabeth Warren is a typical communist scumbag, cheating piece of human feces. Unbelievable. 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 Screw you, Elizabeth Warren, and the horse you did ride on, you fake Indian. Trump on his aid warpath. His whiplash is hitting refugees and AIDS patients worldwide. Muddled orders from the White House leave global charities confused about what they are and aren't allowed to do. Well, I understand that, but you're not very bright. The order didn't stop existing funding. it froze new commitments. So if you're too stupid to read the order and don't take actions based on that, we can't help you with that. Donald Trump is about to strike again, and this one might be painful for Americans. Trump will impose 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum today. Any steel coming to the United States is going to have a 25% tariff, trying to save our steel industry. Oof. Wow. He also told reporters he would soon announce reciprocal tariffs on 11 February or 12 February, meaning the United States could impose duties on products from countries that have placed tariffs on U.S. goods. If they're charging us 130%, we're charging them nothing. It's not going to stay that way. Wow. Where a country charges us so much and we do the same, I think that's the only fair way to do it. That way, nobody's hurt. Well, if you're charging us a lot of duty, get ready. According to U.S. Department of Commerce, the European Union levies 50% tariffs on American motorcycles and 10% on automobiles. India places 60% duties on U.S. cars. So there you go. You want to keep protecting Mahindra? You're screwed, India. Thank you, Sven Christian Notard. Yeah, so Trump is leveling the playing field. People don't realize how many countries treat America like shit around the world. 60% tariffs, 50% on our motorcycles. People love Harleys. People pay a fortune to buy Harleys in Europe. But the sales are diminished because of the tariffs that Europe. 10% on cars, 10% tariff on cars. We don't charge 10% tariff on anything from Europe. What a bunch of scumbags. What a bunch of scumbags. Trump's next round of tariffs, 25% of steel and aluminum. Won't be so easily averted. Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yep. The National Security Advisor defends Trump's push to dismantle USAID. Mike Waltz said, no, absolutely not. All too often, these missions and these programs, number one, are not in line with U.S. strategic interests, like pushing back on China. They're doing all kinds of other things that, frankly, aren't in line with strategic interests or the president's vision. So Mike Waltz is defending the president's withdrawal of USAID because it's hurting American interests, and I don't disagree. Can a Super Bowl blowout, Pablo Charlie, are you still here, be beautiful for the Philadelphia Eagles? Yes, the Philadelphia Eagles slaughtered the Kansas City Chiefs last night, preventing a three-peat. A night that teased that NFL history became a different kind of statement. Winning is hard. They gave the coach a Gatorade bath with nearly 3 minutes left on the clock. They happily summoned the backup quarterback for garbage time reps. They charged so far ahead it allowed TV Tom Brady space to tell war stories about bad Super Bowl losses and how he never fully recovered. They coughed up a couple of goofy late touchdowns that made the 40-22 final seem less one-sided than it was, because it was a rout, a blowout, start, finish, and everything in between by the Philadelphia Eagles over the immortality-seeking Kansas City Chiefs, a game that was teased as history in the making instead became a Super Bowl thrashing and a useful reminder that football is a sport of reality, ruthlessness, and pushing on. The Eagles have won. The Eagles are the Super Bowl champions. Pablo Charlie, you're still here. Pennywise. Well, here's the story about Donald Trump who wants to get rid of pennies. I don't agree with this, but I understand why. Trump has instructed the Treasury Secretary to stop making pennies, calling them wasteful. For far too long, the United States has minted pennies that literally cost us more than 2 cents. This is so wasteful. I've instructed my Secretary of the Treasury to stop producing new pennies. Let's rip the waste out of our great nation's budget, even if it's a penny at a time. And Marauder's just given a super chat. Thank you for that, Marauder. Let me get to that very quickly. The average person overseas also does not understand that here in South Africa, if your truck carrying a payload breaks down on your national highways, it's getting looted in less than an hour. Well, watch the videos on my channel, folks. I got videos on my channel that address that very specifically. In fact, for a while there, that was my biggest video. I got it from a friend in South Africa. So let me see if I can find it. Loot. Find that video. There you go. Doctors Without Borders, Mad Max, one of these, Lawlessness and Thievery in KZN. Yep, there it is. So let me get this up real quick. This is one I put on my video. I covered this in a while ago, 2 years ago. So here you go.
Yeah, these guys are all stopping to loot our truck. All of these fucking people. Here we are. It's chaos here in Undundulu. Chega's clever clown, yeah. Chega's fucking boy, greedy as hell. Got 2 buttocks in his hands there. Look at him, look at him, look at him, look at him. Fucking rubbish. Here we go. There's our driver sitting. Yeah, As the car's just loading up. Check out all of these fucking rubbishes. Pulling it through the cold, through the sand. Look at them. This car's full inside. Full of meat. Look at them. Chaos. Nice, guys. Yeah.
Trying to cover his face.
Nice.
But we got your plate number,
Check
thief.
out, they're stealing my meat. Yes. Yes.
Oh, wait a second. I keep hearing from the ANC and black supremacists that white South Africans don't speak African languages. Never mind that Afrikaans is an African language. Wasn't he just speaking in a Bantu language? Wasn't that an Nguni speaking language? I thought I heard the white guy say, let's go back. Maybe I imagined that. Maybe the white guy wasn't really speaking that language.
Yes. Yes. No. Here we are, NZ1176.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thieves.
There's
Nothing happened to
another
them. Here's another one. Get his plate number.
NO1734. Stealing my meat.
Welcome to Cloud Cuckoo Land.
Yeah, go and steal meat, it's fine. You look like you could do with some more meat there. Go, my man, it's fine.
The driver for the truck.
Go and steal meat, it's fine. Hamban. Fucking, he looks like he could put away a fucking four-quarter. Look at all these fucking rubbishes. Look at them. Ow, number one. Nice one. I've got you on camera. Yeah. Can't even carrying it, putting it in the fucking sand. They're stealing. We are Taylor. Yes. Fucking rubbish. Yeah. Man. There's Doctor.
All right, guys. Sorry. That one had 29,000 views. That was with the second one. I had two of those videos. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So anyway, that's on my channel from 2 years ago. Call that one Mad Max South Africa. The other one had 50,000 views. Yeah. That's what South Africa. That's what you deal with. That's the country. That's what's happened. Wonder if they will track numbers leaving South Africa to try to stop people. What numbers? License plates? You're not going to drive to America. There are 12 official languages after you forgot bullshit. Well, there are actually 12. There's sign language. And I know South African Sign Language because I attended on television Nelson Mandela's funeral. Remember that? Now, that was not an insult to those who speak South African Sign Language. That was a recognition of how you were disrespected by the ANC hiring some scumbag that didn't even know sign language. So I got a couple more super chats I got to address here that have come up. Marauder, I think I got yours, didn't I? The average person. Yep, I did. Moonbass did one. Moonbass gave a super to be the first one to reply. Okay, thank you for the super chat there, Moonbass. And then Bertie Engelbrekt gave 400 more. Well, thank you for that, Bertie. That's very kind of you. Yep, every day goings on here for sure. It's becoming a laughing matter. It is. It's sad to laugh at, but it's true. Saw that once with a Coca-Cola truck. Yeah, well, it happened in Mitchell's Plains when I was in Mitchell's Plains when they were killing people in the taxi strike. I was in South Africa for that, and I just missed being a victim of that nonsense. I was driving through Mitchell's Plains where the high school is, and 2 streets over, they attacked a Coca-Cola truck, and then they robbed it. Oh, my goodness. What's the HI bill? NHI? Yeah. Never forget the tax. Well, the expropriation gives people access to your pension funds. You don't need NHI for that, Truth Wings. It's already happened. Thank you, Johan van Rooyen, for subscribing. Are there any updates on the resettlement plan? No, Herman. There are no updates. No updates. Thank you for asking. Yep. Every day going on. Yep. Okay. What else? Sarcastic Niabonga. Thank you. Funny how they changed their tune and rally behind the government because they all know shit just got real. Yep. Okay, I already got that. Okay, I think I've caught up now. So, yeah, Sam Nujoma. Yeah, piece of work that guy was. Please don't knock our sign language. He was fluent in many languages. We saw. Yeah, I did see that. He was very fluent in bullshit's what he was fluent in. I tell you that much, folks. All right, so back to Trump wants to get rid of the penny because we pay twice as much to make them as they're worth. They're not really made from copper, and they haven't been for decades. They're made from zinc with a copper coating on top of them. The penny costs 3 cents to make, and it costs U.S. taxpayers over $179 million in 2023. So, yeah, that's billions of rand there. The mint produced over 4.5 billion pennies in 2023, 40% of the 11 billion in circulation. Wow, that's crazy. It would be the first time it's been eliminated. The half-cent coin was discontinued in 1857. Canada discontinued its penny in 2012, citing the cost of coin production. Yep. All right, so yeah, he wants to get rid of the penny. A federal court has blocked the potential transfer of 3 criminal alien invaders from America by sending these Venezuelan criminals to Guantanamo. A pending court case challenging their prolonged detention in New Mexico. Federal court on Sunday granted a request to temporarily block the possible transfer of 3 Venezuelan men from a detention center in New Mexico to Guantanamo amid the federal government's efforts to expand the detention of illegal immigrants at the naval base. 3 men currently held in the Otero County Processing Center in New Mexico filed a motion seeking a temporary restraining order. According to the Center for Constitutional Rights, which represent the petitioners, they have a pending court case challenging their prolonged detention in New Mexico. Well, because they managed to cheat the legal system and have a case before the courts, they're going to be allowed to stay in America. This is misuse of the law. It's kind of like Zuma constantly filing court cases. Daughters of the American Revolution take a controversial stance. Their board has rejected a ban on biological males. The Daughters of the American Revolution will allow biological men to be part of it. I could never join the Daughters of the American Revolution, but now that transgender is the scam of the century, you can be a biological male and apparently join the Daughters of the American Revolution. The Daughters of the American Revolution National Board of Management voted Saturday to reject proposed bylaw amendments clarifying that a woman eligible for membership is defined as biological female at conception. Lambeth Horgan, what the hell kind of name is that? Lambeth Horgan, Recording Secretary General, told the organization's Martha Laird chapter in a letter that the board found the amendments not to be suitable for inclusion in the bylaws and not to be in the best interest of society. The proposed amendments will not be forwarded to the Continental Congress. The National Society will continue to rely on its longstanding policy to accept state-certified birth certificates and will not introduce requirements for chromosomal tests to establish an applicant's sex. So, what that means is that people are illegitimately going around the country and having states like California amend their birth certificate when they were born female to say they're male because they choose to be male, or male, now they're female because they choose to be female. And so they're going to let biological males with X and Y chromosomes in their body be members of the Daughters of the American Revolution. I don't support this organization anymore. It's an idiotic organization if they're going to do that. And that is the news for today. We got through that and still have 600 people here. Wow, shocked by that. Tom Homan is something there. What? What's going to happen to sanctions if Trump opposes 51%? Well, there are no sanctions, but sanctions probably wouldn't be against fast food organizations, particularly one where American corporations are benefiting from it. So, what Forster interview? If we had Greenland and Western Cape, we could control the American Ocean. Tom, stop. It's funny. What do you think of Elon bringing attention to Malema and EWC? I think that it was ham-fisted. If he wants to bring attention to Malema, he can do that, but just play the video which Malema played. You know, Malema spoke and said, we will expropriate property, and there's nothing Trump can do about it. Take that one. Or take Malema at a rally saying that we're not calling for the killing of whites, not yet. In other words, they're going to. Or the interview he did on television. That's what she called out. And also use better language. Don't call him an international criminal. Call him what he is. But I think that it was ham-fisted by Elon Musk. But Elon Musk can do what he wants. He's incredibly wealthy and do what he wants. So, well done, Chris. I agree. Make every day pleasant. Yep. Saving my 1982 and older copper penny, says John Graves. Okay. See, with us, the 5 and 10 cents coated with real metal, but hidden from iron. Ridiculous. What else? What have I missed here? Airport traffic controller because he didn't have deaf friends. Gotcha for the sign language guy. There are brand new 10-cent pieces here. Oh my God, nobody even takes them. Yeah, no, I know, I've seen them. Maybe Cheryl got the DA to take the EWC to court so he can get out of it and save face. Nothing would surprise me. America will join Israel in defending Rwanda. Israel and Rwanda are friends. Well, we have issues with Rwanda gaming. Rwanda is a bit of a totalitarian state, and that's a problem. Plus, Paul Kagame doesn't know when to leave. Wakanda Azania is doomed. Yep. Some major cross-the-board media attempt to dismiss Trump's executive order happening like never before in South Africa right now. It's actually insane to see. Not sure what you mean, Glenn. Stop the sarcasm, Chris. No. Us whites cannot speaking African. Maybe speaker just a few words. 5 million Afrikaans migrant refugees will go to United Cape State, new U.S. state, and strategic military base after Greenland. Don't knock our sign language professional. Used to be a firefighter, saw this many times. Yep. My dad and uncles and nephews all speak fluent Zulu. Yeah, exactly. But we're always told that white South Africans are too lazy to learn African language, which is just racist bullshit. Every white South African I know, except for a few English speakers, speak a second African language. And during apartheid, the English speakers also spoke a second language because they had to learn Afrikaans. Don't get it. What does Tampon Tim have to do with the president? Nothing. Are there any updates? No. Okay, everybody going, what's this? Becoming a laughing matter, unfortunately. Funny how they changed. Oh, it's the chat just recycled for me here. Sorry. It's hard for white people to talk in this country. If you talk, you get killed. You know, people that lost their lives due to speaking out. Now that there is like a backup, people can talk. Either way, when an Afrikaner American African American walks into a bar, they're going to want separate tabs. God. Sun Jansa von Rensburg, welcome to you. Leon Labaskakny says, me and wife got caught a cable thief in 2024. We were arrested and kept in a cell for a day as the thief made a false case against us. Saps told us he also had rights. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. People who stand their ground when they're being attacked, stabbed, shot, and shoot back and kill are the ones arrested. They open murder case on that. It's ridiculous. Homicide case. South Africa used to be proud like U.S., the flag, the military. I love that USA. I want that back, says Chappies. No, I hear you. It's good to be patriotic. Marauders super chat, which I didn't read. The average person overseas does not understand. Oh, yeah, I already read that. Sorry, I did read it. My bad. Okay, cool. So I've caught up with all that. Crab toes pause several times and then forget I'm 30 minutes behind live. Yeah, there you go. That happens. Sawabona. Robbers. Yep. Probably only 10% Africans will go the refugee route. Most don't have the means to get the constant, and most aren't even on social media. Most Afrikaner farmers can speak an African language with the people working on farms. Yes, that's correct. That's correct, Van Josveld. Yep, that is correct. That's what I'm saying. I know. So I had a Afrikaner colonel that was here a couple years ago that was a student in a war college, and he spoke Afrikaans, English, Tswana, and what else did he speak? He spoke another language too. Yep. Taylor Swifties, I heard they cried. She got booed at Super Bowl. Is that correct? I heard Taylor Swift got booed at Super Bowl. Isn't that crazy? Anyway. Charmaine saying get married. Okay. All right. Cousin mine had to defend himself from a hijacker and he got in trouble for defending. Exactly, Matt. They expect you to just, be murdered, be raped and be murdered and just take it. And then they won't even pursue the criminals. This has been going on for 2.5 decades in South Africa. It's horrible. More gravitas than a whitey is shouting in Zulu. Yeah, he was shouting in Zulu. Indeed. Let's see how we're doing. I think we slowed down a little bit today on subscriptions, and that's a little bit disappointing. I thought we'd keep going with the gravy train there. The video I put up on MK earlier is at only 3,600. So, yeah, it's not being promoted. That's a shame. So, hopefully the wave isn't slowing down. But, yeah, very quickly for the channel folks, we have got 1.6 million views in the last month. That's 1.3 million more than I typically get in a 28-day period. So that's over 500% more in the last month than I normally get on this channel, which had been shadow banned. And we picked up 15,000 subscribers in the last month. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Thank everybody for that. Really appreciate it. So, yeah, on early January, we were at just 20,000 subscribers. Now we're at 36,000. and 837. That's pretty cool. Thank you all so much for that. Really grateful for that. We got to keep it going. Keep it rolling. And listen, your viewership of my videos matters. Even if you don't have Super Chat money to help the channel out, doesn't matter. Appreciate those that can afford to Super Chat, and really grateful for the ones that come in today and the others over the weekend. But just watching the programs and sitting through the annoying commercials is helpful. The amount of ad revenue that's coming in now is greater than anything else. Ad revenue has always been tiny, but now ad revenue is 3 times the Super Chats right now. It doesn't mean stop Super Chatting, because those matter. And it is 6 times what I make for memberships. I have 200 members, and I get 6 times as much money because I don't get much of that money from memberships. Yeah. Newsflash, I'm so going to promote the living crap out of this channel. Well, I hope you do. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Joe Biden is also in attendance. In attendance where? Work in the mines for almost 14 years now. Zulu, Sutu, Kosa, and Fangala. That's the mine language. Hey, Andre, how's it going? Barry Kolk, the different. By the way, they were rescuing some more Zamazamas at another mine last night. The difference between ANC and UAP drones. UAP might be unidentified, but at least they show signs of intelligent control. You deserve it with what you put in this channel. Thank you, Maggie. Oh, I have put a lot in there. We can live without the penny. I like the penny. Bitcoin Boot, didn't I see you on Newspod last night or earlier today? I've become a recent fan just for interest's sake. What happens when you qualify for refugee relocation? How do they determine where you go? Who pays for relocation? Again, I don't have the answers. A lot of Afghan refugees resettled here got free rides in C-17s. Yeah, the resettlement program, I believe, and I'm not going. Don't hold me to this. That's why we need to wait and see what each program. There's a program, a legal program, but each application of the program can be different with different conditions and different standards. So they may pay for your flights. You may be able to bring your pets. You may be able to bring your entire family. And no, you don't have to be a farmer, according to this. You just have to be an Afrikaner who is either been abused by racial discrimination or fear discrimination. Simple as that. We don't know. I can't answer that question for you. Nobody can. Anybody tells you they can is lying to you. Okay? Bitcoin, you just have to wait. Just have to wait. The embassy hasn't issued anything yet. The Secretary of State has to have a policy on this and has to prove it, and then it gets put in place. Why is the DA did nothing about Zuma's corruption trial? Is the DA captured by the ANC? Well, Gordon Graham, I'd be less worried about Zuma's corruption trial. I'm much more worried about Cyril Ramaphosa's $560,000 stuffed in a mattress and his perversion of the means of justice by using the Presidential Protection Unit to capture and torture the suspects from the raid. I'd be more concerned about that. And this guy's the President of the Republic. And I don't want to hear that he was acquitted by the Parliament, because he wasn't. Parliament has no criminal authority over him. All they had was ethics, and they said that he didn't violate any ethics, which is a crock, but he's never been charged criminally. So, would limiting the penny also mean the copper can be melted? Okay, so again, Holden, there's not much copper in a penny. It's mostly zinc. The coin itself is zinc. Zinc, which is far cheaper than copper. It's got a copper coating on top of it. So there's virtually no copper in pennies. So melting it down is going to get you zinc and a little bit of copper. So it's not worth the time. Interracial couples are not popular here from either side. Where, in South Africa? He left for the USA and created PayPal. Well, he was one of the people involved in PayPal. Penny for your thoughts. Oh, that's funny. I speak Xhosa and understand Zulu and vice versa for anybody. Cool beans, Elizabeth. All right. Well, Chris, it's been a while. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Charlene Hunt. Hi, everyone. Just pretend to understand what is said. Just watch the body language carefully. Then you don't need to speak the language. Good one. Okay. So, Joe Rafferty says, what's happening to my people wanting to flee like scared flies? Dies, man. Skip fuss. Okay. Yep, and saw that first add the 3. Okay. Hi, Chris. Good to see you live again. Hey, Vaughn Zede. Good to see you. I do my news every day unless I've got something else going on. You share the best truth. Thank you. Love your posts. Hit close to home. The most are worth it. Thank you, crazy psychotic patriot follower. Only. Stephanie Hatsamichael, one of my favorite names. Viva Rhino Rubio. Pennies are 95.7% zinc. Thank you, Sean. That's exactly what I was saying. I saw people scaring people saying you'll get sent back in 4 years. U.S. says, my knowledge, never deported, good integrated. Okay, so Evie, again, this is fake news and lies. What evidence they have you'll be deported in 4 years? The presumption is that Demon Rat will be the president of the United States? Doesn't change anything. As I've said before, Liberians have been here since 1990. Liberia is perfectly safe to live in. I lived there in 2007, 2008, and rebuilt the armed force of Liberia. Perfectly safe. There's no civil war. Crime wasn't a reason for, there's crime there, but no reason not to be there. Liberians should have returned to Liberia years ago, at the latest in 2009, 2010. But here we are 35 years later, and they're still in America. They're not even American citizens. Some of them, their kids are because of our stupid, anchor baby approach, but they have no business being here. They need to go back to Liberia. Refugees never go home. They never go home. So whoever told you that, Evie, is so full of shit, their eyes are brown. Okay? Don't believe what they're saying. They're a bunch of mampars. Yep. Copper is $4 a pound. Guess I'm buying pennies. Space lasers. That'd be pretty cool. I want sharks, freaking lasers. Lasers on the sharks. Dr. Evil, we can't do that. The ASPCA will prevent us from doing that. Oh my goodness. I'm a small business owner. If the boys leave, my clients leave, and I can't get a job, you're going to have to leave, says MJ. Sonia says, surely the next president can overturn the refugee status and send the so-called racist Afrikaners back. It seems like majority of Americans see us as the oppressors. No. Where do you get that presumption at, Sonia? Where do you get the presumption at? Do you even think for a moment that, you just saw criminal alien invaders who are criminals. These are convicted murderers who are in prison in New Mexico for violating their sovereignty and committing murders. And a judge has just prevented them from being shipped out of the country. Do you think law-abiding people from Africa are going to be allowed to be shipped out of the country by racist president who hates white people? Stop. The president can suspend it, but he can't expel people. He can't rescind that status once it's granted unless someone's committed a crime. So anyway, can you say Fouché Herbst? I want to know what your citizens will call me. I need to gauge. Well, I'm not your typical U.S. citizen, Fouché Herbst. No, I'm not a typical U.S. citizen. I speak 6 languages, and German is my second language. So, French is my third language. New ex post from U.S. Embassy. Okay, well, let me go to that and look at it. Okay, see what they got to say. All right. When you say new, in the last 10 minutes, because I've been online and there wasn't anything earlier. U.S. Embassy, Pretoria. South Africa, okay? 1 hour ago, okay? All right, let me see what it says 1 hour ago. The U.S. is closely monitoring land, farm seizures, and remains committed to fair and just resolutions. Read the full statements here. Okay, that's nothing new. They just reposted the same thing. They reposted the same thing that they had earlier. Nothing new. Nothing new. And then a fact check on PEPFAR. Full update. Well, thank you for your subscription. Is PEPFAR impacted by the president's executive order? No. We have full permission to restart PEPFAR. When will PEPFAR resume activity in South Africa? PEPFAR, it's important to note that not all PEPFAR activities resume. Is the National Department of Health aware of this update? What is covered? Yes, they have shared it. What is covered under limited waiver? Life-saving HIV care and treatment services, prevention of mother-child transmission, reasonable implementing agency implementing partner administrative costs necessary. Has the United States informed local partners? State Department's Bureau of Global Health, Diplomacy, and Security has shared additional guidance on specific activities that are covered under the limited waiver. So, people that aren't giving you services are lying to you. They are charging every form of treason. Well, moderate, you should watch my video. I covered that earlier. And apparently it's not making the rounds. Is YouTube censoring it again? So I'm a bit surprised. Only 4,000 views on that. So anyway, but yes, I covered that earlier. So here's the link to that. That was my most recent video. And I awarded the MK Party the Mumpara of the Week award for their court case. I don't even know how a private citizen or organization can charge another citizen organization with treason. Treason is a state crime. It's not theft. It's not assault. It's not robbery. You're not the aggrieved party. The state is the aggrieved party. And therefore, how can a private citizen do that? I don't know. Rory Kinsella says, that's because you are the oppressor, Sonia. Remember, it was the Americans in the West that saved your ass back in 1994. What the hell are you talking about? We got another troll in here? What else we got here? All right, I'm sorry. Yeah, people read a few tweets and think that's what Americans think. Exactly. Trump is deporting criminals. That's correct. Watch the American Black Stories podcast saying that we, the Afrikaners, are racist. That must have been Roland Martin. I was worth $450,000 before Trump. It isn't Afrikaners, all whites. Okay, ESV is not what we should worry about. It's what happens afterwards. Markets shut and trade fail. I warned about that when he signed it. I said that Rand will tank over the course of this year. Property will become largely untradeable and worthless. I mean, and you only have to look to Joburg to know this already. Look at Johannesburg. People can't sell property. Nobody wants to buy it because people are semi-grading in droves to the Western Cape. And the property market is saturated because people have property they can't get rid of. It's sitting on the market. I talked to someone who was on the chat the other day. He's had a flat on the market for 13 months and nobody's buying. Can't sell it. Prices are going to collapse. And when you have people confiscating or expropriating land in Sisheho and Polokwane, this is just going to make it worse. Yep. Okay, 598 acres in Iceland, Greenland. Right. How long before we can apply to become a refugee in America? Well, Andre Marks, I don't know. Nobody knows. And we just went to the American Embassy site. There's still no guidance. You'll have to wait and find out. And as soon as we know, we'll tell you. I think you need to add to your merch t-shirts with the cool Afrikaans words using your videos like Mampar. I think I should. They are charging Afriform with treason, but that's going to go nowhere. There's no treason. Afriform has actually defended South Africa. It's argued and lobbied the American government not to sanction South Africa, not to cut them out of AGOA. So it's quite the opposite of what the race hustling MK party is claiming. I don't know what Rory Kinsella's up to here. Ananda, I kept calling you Amanda the other day. South Africa will be left with just over 50-year-old homeowners. Yeah. Yep. All right. Alfonso says, years ago, the South African government disbanded volunteer forces defending. You're talking about the commando system. 178 regiments of commandos were disbanded by the ANC on the bogus allegation that they were a legacy of apartheid. The commando system predates the South African Republic. It predates South Africa. It predates the colonies. The commando system dates back to the 17th century. And is similar and akin to what we had known as the Minuteman system here in America, where people would grab their musket, their powder, their horn, their flint, and they would get their saddlebags, jump on their horse, and they would rush off to the neighboring farm and knock on the door and ring the bell, and everyone would gather in a commando to defend themselves against threats to their community. That's what it was. The commando system was effective at rural security. They did a lot of coordinated search operations. They stopped Mandrax, Daga, Tick, all kinds of things. And the ANC disbanded them to weaken the rural communities so that farm attacks could be occurring. Now, that's a bold claim, isn't it? Well, what other conclusion can one reach after watching the history of South Africa since the disbandment of the commandos? They had nothing to do with apartheid. That's not what they were about. This is where the bitter racists gather. It's sad to see how racist Africa... Oh, my goodness. Okay. You're a pathetic loser there, buddy. So do you like to, self-pleasure yourself in a corner there, buddy? Nervous Jack? You must be nervous because someone caught you. They opened the door and saw you with your fingers clasped on your member. Don't grip it too hard because you cut the blood flow off to your stupid little brain. Okay, I see the racists are showing up here, and we've just given one the boot. Yep, like to buy, what's this? Okay. Surely we'll be able to pay out our pension funds. Not much sunlight in Alaska. Well, there is in the summertime, Beth. It's sun stays up all the time. You don't know me, but trust me, there is no second best. Go listen to Michael Saylor. I have no idea what Michael Saylor is. Why would I listen to him? All right, be polite to each other in the chat. I can spank other people. All right, what else got here? Herman Janssen von Rensburg changed my mind heading USA. Lucky for me, I can leave without South African ties. I'm 46 and willing to rebuild the USA. Okay. Seems subscriptions really starting to snowball. They are, Smee. Again, congrats. I'm really happy for you, your cause, and your channel. Thank you. Cool fact, the Royal Marine Commandos are actually named after the Boer Commandos after they were exposed to them. Yep, that's right. Fortunately, I have a cash buyer from my current tenant. Well, that's awesome. Oh, come on, chat. What are you doing there? Okay, there we go. Now we're good. Sedgefield's still here. Vincent Taylor says, why do all the media outlets say Afrikaners don't want to go? Just check each video's comment section. Most of us want to leave. Okay, Vincent, they're wrong, and you're also wrong. We have no proof that most Afrikaners want to leave. The fact that 17,000 or 250,000 people have inquired about leaving doesn't mean that most Afrikaners want to leave. Even if you take the premise that there are 3 people per family and 1 representative, and everyone has 3 people in the family, not single people, not larger families, not widowers, not widows. If you just take that rough figure, let's say the 250,000 is real, that's 750,000. That's not most. There's 2.8 million Afrikaners. So that isn't even close to being most, and that's the most generous thing. So they're wrong, and your supposition is not valid. If I did a poll here right now, we'll do it again. We'll see how many people want to leave. Okay? Start a poll. Would you apply for Trump's offer? Okay, that's if you're South Africans. If you're not in South Africa, don't answer the question. That's just going to mess up the numbers here. We were getting about 68% of this before. Okay. There you go. There's a poll. There's 525 people here right now. Somebody can answer it. We sent one of the racists back to cry. Hopefully let go of his penis by now. Michael says there's a billionaire Bitcoin investor, one of the major holders of Bitcoin. I have no idea. Okay. He's not relevant here. He's not relevant. I just started bucketing down here in Centurion. Wow, raindrops. Wow, that's pretty well. Chantel Whitfield said the old South African language classes were compulsory up to grade 8. Now we don't speak your bloody languages. If they want a cohesion, why do we? Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. There's a possibility USA claims assets too, but they may pay monthly stipend. No, there's no. Where are you getting this from? We won't claim your assets. What are you talking about? Not if you're a refugee. Oops, this tab just crashed. YouTube. Where do you get that from? Where do you get that from? We don't take money from refugees. that violates the whole spirit and intent of it. We don't take money from refugees. By the way, my MK video is getting no views. Wow, that's amazing. I have to wonder if the censorship regime has returned. Just 2,000 views on that. And that one earlier said 18,000. Now it says, hang on a second here, 19,000, 26,000. Boy, they really put the kibosh. My views have really dropped off today. What's going on? Let me see. What's going on here? I need to look at my analytics here. Oh, no, I'm still getting views, 11, 12,000. They must be watching my older content. That's weird. Anyway, so, yeah, back to this. So where are we at? 528 people currently. Going to take you for steak when I get there as a refugee, says Napoleon Dynamite. Why don't, okay. Yeah, so I don't know where you're getting that play 24 that they'll take your assets. We don't take assets from refugees. No, we take taxes. You come here and you start working, you'll pay taxes. You put your money in the bank, you earn interest, you'll pay taxes. Trust me, I got a whole stack of paperwork right here. This is just the stuff that came in this week from investments and mortgages and bills and interest income that I have to pay taxes on. The whole file is this thick. They love to tax you in this country. Yep. What about pets? DCL Creative New Era video. I've mentioned this about 375 times, but you probably just arrived. Under the Refugee Resettlement Program, they allow pets at times. I don't know what they'll do from South Africa, but I would expect they probably let you bring Old Yeller with you. Yep. Bring your Rhodesian Ridgeback. Another place I would want to go beside the U.S. Love it there. Absolutely awesome place. Thank you for all you do, for your information. It's very valuable, says Dina van Dijk. Good evening to all the good people. Welcome to you, Paul Ferrer. Rory says, channel, don't make the mistake of applying logic to these people. You will live a lot longer. Think when more info is available, a session to perhaps chat about. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll do that. I mean, good Lord. I mean, folks, it's not like I've stepped away. I'm killing myself here because of Trump and Ramaphosa, all this stuff going on. I mean, okay, so I'm going to go back to January. SS Snake, welcome to you. So I've gone back to just January 15th. That's already 60 videos. And I go back to, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 60, and 26 is 86 videos I prepared on analysis from everything from Nobs and Mkhize to Education Minister Siviwe Garuba. The catastrophic effort to stop Fly SAF Air from flying, and everything in between Elon Musk and Julius Malema and all of this EWC stuff. That is that. That's not even the live streams I do. So trust me, I put a lot of effort into this, and I do appreciate people showing up and helping the channel grow. It is much appreciated. And even though it's a passive voice, I'll still say it. Yeah, but I'm pushing hard to get at 37,000. I don't think we're going to get there today. It's 877. We need another 123 subscribers to get there today. Somehow I think that the hate wanker that was sent back to the closet to release his member probably won't keep his membership. He'll probably take his subscription away. That's another thing. You have to remember that we get a bunch of subscriptions from leftist trolls who come on here and so they can chat and pollute the chat, and then they unsubscribe when they leave. Like to secure your Mexican border. Well, that's what the military's doing right now. Servicemen in the previous African republics were required by law to arrive for service with their own horse, rifle, and called up. Okay. Which state would you advise for a bee farmer? Help my daddy's beekeepers. Well, I'm a beekeeper too, Cameron Booth. Qualified apiist. And no, that is not a racial slur. An apiist. The bees are all over the country. Sean Visagi. But I would say that probably some of the best belts for that would be New York State, the rural areas, Pennsylvania, Ohio. Those are great places for beekeepers. Virginia is another good one for beekeepers. But, you know, we have European bees all over the place, honeybees. Michael, thank you. The media wants to control the narrative with politicians. Indeed, they do, and they're telling fairy tales. How much do you think a refugee needs? That's an impossible question to answer, Crab Toes, because it depends what your needs are. I mean, I don't know what they'll do for refugees and pets. I mean, I'm sure it's a lot more generous than they do for me. I mean, the military doesn't ship my pets. When I went to Botswana, because of South Africa's veterinary requirements, you want to guess what I had to pay? You want to guess what I had to pay? When I brought my cat back from Tunisia, which I adopted in Tunisia, it cost me $175 to bring that cat back by air. That's it. $175. You want to know what I had to pay to get my two cats to South Africa and into Botswana? Oh, man. I'm going to tell you how much it cost. And now you know why I have no pets anymore after they both passed on. Taking them there cost me over 100,000 rand. Clean my savings out to take my cats to Botswana, where I lived for 2 years. And then I had to bring them back. And when I brought them back, they cost me another, it was cheaper coming back. It was more like 60,000 rand. So my cats cost me 160,000 rand. Yep. Because of South Africa's stupid veterinary requirements. Yep. Yep. Exactly what happened. Daniel Theon says, do you think there's any chance that nothing comes of this, that will not be granted refugee status? No, there will be something comes of it. Absolutely. It's an executive order. Trump won't rescind the executive order. There's no reason for him to rescind this. The U.S. government knows what's going on in South Africa. It's just the Democrats were unwilling to do something about it. They don't mind racism direct against white people. In fact, they perpetrate racism against white people in America. Watch the television commercials. Watch the television shows. Just look at what happens in hiring practices, DEI, and all this nonsense. Look at Joe Biden's decision. My appointment to the Supreme Court will be a black woman. Why? Do you know if even a black woman is the best qualified person? No, you don't. You're just a racist with a quota agenda. The government here knows what's going on in South Africa. They're not stupid. Just because of inartful or incorrect language used by Trump in his tweet doesn't mean that Trump doesn't know what's going on. Yeah, so no, it's not going to be rescinded. Now, who will be able to come may be a very different story. But first off, let me put your mind at ease. The number of people that would be considered Afrikaner, no matter how you slice that, if you take all coloreds, Indians, and whites, and some blacks who are persecuted for race, then that doesn't matter. We're kicking out 30 million criminal alien invaders. We've got plenty of space in America for people to come in under this program. So that's not going to be the issue. It won't be rescinded. It's just a question of how it'll be applied. So bottom line is that people just need to calm down and relax and wait to find out what the guidance is and what the standards are and how you process it for it. And it's like the question, how much money you need. I can't answer that question because I don't know if they're going to pay for your pets. I don't know if they're going to pay for you. And also when you get here, you have to have health insurance. Well, it isn't free unless you go on welfare. So, but the good news for South Africans, if you come in a refugee program, refugees, unlike asylum seekers, are allowed to work. In fact, you're kind of expected to work. Werner says, what? What is what? What? Okay. My family love it. They prefer Texas to California. I don't prefer either one. They're hot. I mean, I used to love California, the northern part, but I don't like California at all, and I don't like Texas. It's okay, but pets are a concern. If you've seen clips of cattle being hacked apart for meat while still alive, don't hold hope out for animals left behind. That's a good point. Maybe Afrikaners can improve Arkansas to Afrikansas. Chris Nixon, major problem is that South Africa is most people are conservative, Afrikaners, English, Muslim, black tribes have zero representation in government as people don't base the color of their skin. Well, we don't have zero representation. The African Christian Democratic Party is there. The Freedom Front Plus is there. You don't have enough representation. It may be your argument. Is Trump making a difference in your future opinions? I appreciate your past chats. If you look back, thank you for sharing non-scripted energy, sharing content. Love your live. Is he changing my future opinions? I don't understand what you mean by that. We were here before Donald Trump when he was a Democrat, when he was pro-abortion, when he was in tight with Democratic mayors in New York City and involved in Hollywood with Hollywood slime, and when he was involved with the New York mafia in the government, essentially. We were conservative. We believed in faith, family, and the flag. We respected others. We treated others with genuine respect. And we believed in freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and freedom of religion. We've always been here, true conservatives and patriots in this country, and we'll be here when Trump is gone. And we won't change. We will be the guardians of the Constitution, and we will protect and defend our Constitution with our last breath. And so I don't know what you mean by change. Nothing's changed because of Trump. My optimism has changed. I'm much more optimistic. America has been saved because Americans finally got off their ass and enough of them went and voted to overturn the scam that happened in 2020. So it's unfortunate that 2020 to 2024 had to happen because I've suffered a lot. Not many people suffer more than I, but my income has been eviscerated, my retirement income, and I've chosen not to go take a six-figure consulting job or a government job on multiple occasions. I mean, I could be teaching right now at the Army War College, pulling down a huge salary, benefits, retirement fund, healthcare, dental plan, all that. And I really could use dental, but I'm not doing that. And I'm pursuing this effort to be an independent journalist and bring this stuff to people. I've sacrificed an awful lot for it. Don't cry for me. Not asking you to. My point is that I am eminently employable at a very large salary if I want to, and that's a government job. In the private sector, I can make tons more than that, but I don't do it because I'm trying to make a difference, and I hope I'm making a difference. And the recent surge has been encouraging. But yeah. Oh yeah, no. Well, they didn't die in Africa. They the first one died after I came back from Botswana. The cat was in a kennel waiting for me to get a house. I was looking for a house, and I think they fed it dry cat food when we instructed them not to, and he died. And both of them were in the same cage. So he was dead, and she was in a cage with him. I went and saw him. Took the cat back to the vet because the cat had been at the same base in the past and saw the vet before, and they recognized the cat, and they were all just sad, and they disposed of his remains. That was Prince, whom I've adopted in Tunisia. The other cat was Tara, whom I've adopted in the United States here. There were two cats from a litter. One was Tara and one was Willow from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So Tara was the one that I adopted, and Tara lived to be the ripe old age of 23. Wound up leaving her with family and friends in Germany, and she spent her last decade there. So I didn't have her for the last 10 years. So, but she died last year. Yeah, there you go. So $3 in pennies, you can make roughly $8.15 copper content. Holden, where are you getting that from? You doing the math, 3%? Or are you just doing the 3 cents for every one? If you think that the government paying 3 cents for a penny means you're going to make 300% profit, you're misunderstanding the cost of making a penny, mining the material, buying the minerals, shipping it to a mint, producing it, paying the wages, the salaries, the employment, the health insurance for all those people, and then shipping it all over the country and distributing it. That's where the cost comes from. The copper is just one element of it. Yeah, there's not much copper in it. That's how they tried to save money, by reducing the copper content, because copper was expensive. So anyway. Yeah, Jacques, look, you know, they were my cats, you know, I couldn't just abandon them. So South African ambassador in America mentioned that on the day the executive order was really, what South African ambassador? What South African ambassador? We don't have an ambassador in South Africa. Who? Ibrahim Russell, the South African ambassador in America? No, I think you're mixing metaphors or mixing news reports are crooked. The South African Chamber of Commerce reported that they received 10,000 inquiries from Afrikaners on day one, and then it was at 17,000. Now somebody's saying it's 250,000. I don't know where that's coming from. Anyway, Yaku Peter say thank you for subscribing. So I'm not sure we get it. Need insurance and expensive cats. They're strict at the U.S. Embassy. What do you mean by that? Wow, sorry, Chris. I'm allergic to cat. Well, I'm also allergic, Dylan. I'm allergic to cats. 70,000 to bring 2 sausage dog to the UK. There you go, Stuart. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, USA has more information about South Africa than the ANC does. Trust me, I worked in the intelligence community. In many respects, that's true. That's why I said most, not all groups. White people shouldn't have a solitary African passport. Okay. U.S. pennies have been only copper plated since 1983. The last truly copper pennies were pre-63. Thank you, Tommy. Said so. I said 40 years, and 83 would be 42 years ago. Did I get that nailed on the head or what? Hey, Colonel, everyone just came from Ronaldo's. Ronaldo is on, stealing my audience? No wonder we lost people. You treasonous bastards. Don't come back here. No, I'm just kidding, Jaretha. Welcome for coming back. I was banned from Twitter today because I shared a video of South Africa, the state of train stations. What? That doesn't make any sense. Some of the biggest concerns are the next president of the USA could he revoke. Nope, not going to happen, Charles Pretorius. And even if it does, the court cases would go on for decades. Relax, relax, relax. And especially, it would be impossible because, you have people making claims which are unfounded that South Africa would strip you of your citizenship. That's illegal under international norms. And they can't do that. But even if they did that, then would just, there'd be no way it could kick you out. You can't be stateless. Jan Johannes says, I'm all waiting for his videos on how to apply for refugee status. Well, you're not going to get them because there are no instructions. There are no instructions. You're going to have to wait until the American government issues instructions. So I wouldn't worry about that, Charles Pretorius, but I would not tell people that you're interested in it. And there's a super chat from Tony Nash. $10 Canadian. Thank you for that. Appreciate it. No, it's okay. It's Canadian. We like Canada. We don't like Justin Trudeau. Vanna Fundabag says, thank you for your unwavering support and for shining a light on the true circumstances of the African community. Your education and advocacy are deeply appreciated. You're very welcome. I'll try to find his name real quick. Thank you, Crook. I appreciate that. I didn't know there was no South African ambassador. No, Ambassador Briggity resigned, to my knowledge. If he hasn't resigned, then he's broken form. Ambassador Briggity is a political nominee, a political appointment. All politically appointed ambassadors, by tradition, tender the resignation when the new president is sworn in. Now, I don't know if the president accepted his resignation, so I don't know the status, but if you go to the American website, there's no ambassador listed. They just have the charge d'affaires, who's the deputy chief of mission. So not a full ambassador until Trump nominates someone. And right now, everybody's like, oh, Joe Pollak, Joe Pollak, Joe Pollak. Well, great. Enjoy him. He'll be a fantastic ambassador for Israel in South Africa. Yeah. Okay. Some news channels put off their comment section. Yep. Well, yeah, I know. You can't comment on Daily Maverick. They don't like comments. Newsroom Africa's Michelle Craig and Zola Mga, along with ABC's Sophie, are the two most biased and biggest propagandists, probably. The Colonel has a soft spot for kitties. He's just not our future warlord. 70% want to leave. Oh, you mean in the poll? In my poll. Yeah, don't take that as representative of all South Africans who would qualify for this. Okay, Trump is offering what the UK, Holland, and France should have since 1994. And Germany. Instead, they fill their streets with, oh, Chantel. Yep. I showed in what awful state our stations are. They send me a policy videos, but they didn't tell you how it violated the policy, huh? Franz Fourie says, guess you missed it. Could you say 88? Did you put a comment there? Ask me or say that? Octantactic. We designed natural nano sprays to help the farmers. Okay. Doge is doing an amazing job in uncovering corruption in USAID. Well, it's not just corruption. I mean, the programs aren't, when we say corruption, they're not corrupt. They're just inappropriate. That's the real term. But if they want to use corruption, I'm fine with that because it's exposing what we've been doing. It isn't corrupt. The programs were approved legally. They were funded legally. It's not corrupt. No one stole the money that we know of. But it's things we shouldn't be funding. It's inappropriate. So, but yeah, they're doing a good job. Now they need to go after the Clinton Foundation, but that's not part of the government. Okay. What did S-Box say? Had a family friend who moved to the UK. It cost $200,000 to take his German Shepherd. Wow. No one is kicking out Mexicans for being Mexicans. What is S-Box saying? Where is this at? What makes South Africans legal? Just because someone says so? Lives are lives. All people are equal. Is that the real S-Box or somebody stole your account? I missed that. S-Box, nobody's kicking Mexicans out. That's horseshit. Where are you getting that from? Are you just spreading fake news? Nobody's kicking them out. Nope. Mexicans are not being affected. And what is legal? Legal is somebody who walks up to a border post and presents you with their passport and asks for entry to your country. And you look at their passport. What's your business here? I've come for a wedding in San Diego. My cousin is an American. She lives there. The wedding is next Friday. We'll be staying at the Hilton in Santa Clarita. Well, that's bad because that's nowhere near. But you get in San Diego. Okay. All right. And they check your passport. They put it on the thing. They scan it. It comes back, and you have no criminal record because we check criminal databases from Mexico with that. All right. Welcome to America, sir. Please enjoy your stay. Here's your visa for 90 days. However, if you slip across our border in the dark of night and fail to present documents and introduce yourself into our country illegally, you are a criminal. You lack legal status. People, whether it's from Afghanistan, Myanmar, Haiti, Guatemala, the Soviet Union, wherever they come from, under the Refugee admissions program, they are legal. They have legal status, a different special status, and they're allowed to be here. People who are legitimate asylum seekers who are already in the country and requested asylum, and they enter the country legally, they are treated fair. But fake asylum seekers must appear in court, and 90+% of them are frauds. Somewhere about 95, 96% of all the people who claim asylum have no basis whatsoever. And how do you get asylum? It's very simple. And if you can't meet these standards, you know you're a fraud because they're economic refugees. They're not asylum seekers, S-Bot. So, asylum. Every year, Americans or people come to the United States seeking protection because they've suffered persecution or fear that they'll suffer it for race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group. You can only file for this application if you're physically present in the United States and you're not a U.S. citizen. But you cannot file for it if you entered the country illegally. That's fraud. You are a criminal. Goodbye. So, S-Bach, I don't know what you're talking about there. Maybe I missed something. Bunch of legal Mexicans that won't be deported. There's also a lot of people who are Americans of Mexican origin. Jan Zeba says, can you choose the state where you... Boy, that's good. No, you can't. You can ask, and sometimes they'll honor it, particularly if you already have family here or something like that or ties, but you'll go where the government puts you. We can't, just have, 15 million South Africans go, I want to live in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's population is 13 million. We can't have 15 million people here. Anyway, and you can't bring your kudu. Looks like row crops are big in Pennsylvania. Yeah, crop is big here. So is dairy farming, and so is beef cattle. But yeah. Okay, I got it wrong. My bad. So is Neil Diamond. Yeah, thank you, Crooked. There you go. Thank you. That's not a plant, folks. I don't know who Crooked is. I didn't ask Crooked to come here and give bad information. I happened to catch it in the chat and then correct it. Once again, it is Neil Diamond. And no, it's not. Where did it go? Sweet Caroline, ba, ba, ba. Good times never seem so good. They come to America. No, it's not that Neil Diamond. It's the Neil Diamond who is the head of the South African Chamber of Commerce. And that's who I said. That's why I asked where you got it from. We like to deal in facts as best we can. Sometimes we only have partial information. We go with it. And occasionally it's like any situation. The first information is incorrect. That's why I went online to break this story Friday night to tell people what was going on. Because I read the order and that's all there was. And I knew that people would just go 18 different directions. So, okay. Thank you for telling me that, Crooked. I appreciate that. I never knew we were that hated till I spent time in X. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. If I was 20 years younger, I would have taken up President's Protection as refugee, says Nandis Kilian. Annalise Ross, as someone who is raised South African veteran, listening to you makes me smile. You remind my dad, straight to the point, straightforward, with no time for BS. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. All right, so where am I at from there? Currently getting my international qualification for my career with the hopes of bringing value to America at least. Okay. According to Life, I like that. World According to Garp. From South, new to the channel. Thanks for being so informative. You're very welcome. Also very deep. I mean, whether it's agriculture, culture, language, whatever you take, check it out. It's all here. They're eating the kudu. They're eating the springboks. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Enjoy this new journey, Chris. Much going on. Wow, it's actually very serious. It is, Stephanie. And that's why I'm committing so much time to this. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not exercising. I'm getting porky here. Never gained weight in my life, but I'm using that as an excuse. It's also the hip. But I'm not exercising. I'm not skiing. I could be skiing today. It's gorgeous today. Beautiful weather for skiing today. And I'm doing this with you all just to keep people informed. So the payoff is a larger audience and more people hear about it. And then now people are contacting me, trying to come on my channel and be guests or asking me to go on their programs, which is nice. I hadn't had that for a while. Sweet Caroline. Yep. Okay. So many people in South Africa are ill or misinformed about what's going on in the USA. That's how crap like this lies about legal Hispanics are being deported. Exactly, Sandra Hannecum. Because people just believe the bullshit that you see on the news. I mean, Germans. I mean, I have family in Germany, and it's unbelievable the shit they tell Germans. I mean, it's all lies. There's not even any truth to it. They just hate Trump, so everything's racist. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Ridiculous. The Germans opposing what America doing. Screw Germany. Hey, you bastards all be half Asian and speaking Russian if it wasn't for us, you ungrateful pricks. Yeah, I said it. There you go. America refund my ass on retirement as this will be worked off when I'm there. Well, it depends. You pay into a retirement fund. Ja, but Germany, also Deutschland über alles. Ich habe ja schon die Nase voll von Deutschland gehabt. Also die Regierung in Berlin ist ja ärgerlich. Ja, ich habe schon die Nase voll von Berlin. Diese Leute, diese Politiker, die sprechen immer Scheiße. Ja, ist Quatsch. Die haben gar nichts gut zu sagen, das Thema von den Vereinigten Staaten. Ja, ich habe die Nase voll. I have no idea where Westfield, PA is like, Neville. It means nothing to me. I'm not from Pennsylvania. It is a big state. It takes 5 hours to go from one side to the other, driving. 5.5. Kyle Sampson, and it takes 4 hours to go from north to south, and it's shorter distance, but it's more remote roads. Yep, Neil Diamond. They're coming to America. Yep. Executive. Well, that's it. We'll start playing Neil Diamond for you. In fact, that'll be my next video. I'll start the Come to America. I wish I could play that with a copyright strike. I'd put that video on here and I'd put pictures of Afrikaners coming to America. Executive word does explicitly define whether it includes only white Africans or it might extend others. You're correct, Liesel Holzhausen. It does not. It doesn't even define what an Afrikaner is. And that's why everybody needs to take a deep breath. Namaste. We don't know what it means until the government defines that. And I had someone try to troll with me last night. I don't know if he meant well, if he's just being a troll, but he's just being obstinate. Oh, well, an Afrikaner is this. I don't give a crap what you call an Afrikaner. It really isn't germane. It doesn't matter what I call an Afrikaner. I have a definition of Afrikaner. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what Google tells you. Doesn't matter what a Boer tells you, or a Burki, or a farmer in the Northwest. Doesn't matter. It's what the American government says is an Afrikaner, or if they change the executive order. Right now, it's for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. That is a big, big description. All right, so thank you, Sandra, for making that point. There was a soccer team called the Dangerous Darkies. Good God, that's a scary term. Okay. Oh, Liesel said that, I'm sorry. Herman van der Westhuizen spoke to my Swedish friend. He's very left-leaning. However, even he says the population has had enough about the refugee causing problems. Well, good. I have no sympathy for the Swedes. They've let 2 million of these people in their country. Gang rape was not a thing in Sweden. Now it's part of the lexicon. It's part of Swedish language. It's unbelievable. I was watching a show last night. Where's that one from? About Sweden. About Sweden. It's called the Ara Murders, the Ara Morden, and it was on Netflix. Not bad. It's a series. There were 5 episodes, and the first 3 dealt with one murder, and then there was a second murder and the third murder in each episode. The lead actress is not Swedish. Her parents are from Poland. Okay. Bleach blonde. The lead actor is Kurdish, not Swedish. Thank you for the super chat. And he plays the character whose name is something like Linus Köping. It's a Swedish character being played by a Kurdish actor. He's married to a white woman on the show, and they have a baby with red hair and blue eyes. I mean, that's just insulting. Absolutely insulting. It's not insulting for a Kurd to be married to a Swede, but your kid shouldn't look like, a Viking. It's just insulting. I mean, it's hard to look past that. I mean, imagine me playing a biography of Denzel Washington or me being Malcolm X. That's a little hard to follow and believe, right? Or Brandy being Cinderella and a fictional character. No, look, I have no sympathy for Sweden. No sympathy for Norway, where 16% of the population are foreigners. You brought this on yourself. The destruction of your society by allowing people who will not accept your norms adapt and become parts. Now, in the case of the actor for Sweden, he's become Swedish. He's a Swedish national. He speaks Swedish. He's in it. But I'm not buying it. If we want to do a movie about a Swedish politician who's Kurdish, fantastic. Or a Swedish farmer who's Kurdish, fantastic. But giving the Swedish name with a guy who comes from Kurdistan, not buying it, man. Not buying it. Dollingers, genau, okay. You can go skiing for 10 minutes. It takes longer to get there. Jacques understands from the German heritage. There you go, okay. 28 million grant recipients. Yeah, well, and that's actually about 36 million people living, or 40 million people living off of aid. Sounds like the mail's being delivered. Many of us have non-white DNA in our blood, and Afrikaans is not a color. Correct, Chantel, as I've said a million times. 5 to 10% of the DNA of every person who is an Afrikaner is actually African origin, not Europe. Or Asia. African or Asia. Dems are dodging Doge. Jared Ryan, welcome to you. I'm new, but you keep it real, so here, so I love that a lot. Welcome, Rena. Appreciate being here. Hope you keep coming back. MJ is laughing. Sorry to ask, but with regards to those treason charges, does anyone know if a citizen political party other than... Exactly. It's okay to ask, but I've been asking that question in my video, which was published just before it went live, and I've been asking it the whole time in the stream. Can a citizen even do such a thing? There's some Swedish... Look at that. Sweden's problem is called the tolerance paradox. Exactly. You tolerate garbage, you get garbage. Anybody who immigrated to Sweden should have been forced to assimilate into Sweden, to learn Swedish, and to accept Swedish norms, or get the folk out. Yep. 3,000 times. What was 3,000 times? What did I say? Thousands of Swedes have been raped. Malmö is rape capital of Europe. Yep. Yeah, so Pin C777, that's the question I've been asking. How can a political party or private entity charge another citizen with treason? It's a state crime, not a civil crime. You can lay a charge against somebody for a civil crime or a violent crime against you, but you can't lay a charge of treason unless South Africa has a weird law. I'm not an expert in that. I'll ask some attorneys that I know. Are whites, we fall into the same discrimination as propaganda media, okay. They're getting eating the kudos. They're eating the Springboks again. That's funny. Chris, can you please share some standard info regarding paperwork people need in order? I cannot, Chris Nixon, because there's no such thing. Until the government tells us what's happening, they can make this a very simple process and just fill out a web-based form, and and then get an appointment, come in, be interviewed, and then poof, you're in the program. Or it could be you have to fill out forms and mail them in, get certified. I don't know. Edward Smith, what's fake news? What's fake news? Can we expect more detail? Not to sound pushy, just curious and yes, anxious. Yeah, well, you can expect more detail. The president is directed. It's an executive order. The executive branch works for the president. The Department of State is part of the executive branch. They must follow his lawful orders. It is a lawful order to establish a program to resettle Afrikaners into America who are victims of racial oppression. That's a given. The State Department has not been given a timeline. If Trump had said have it done by Monday, that'd be different. I would tell you to relax. Maybe by Friday we might see something, best case. Who knows? But with this government, things go really fast. As a Swedish citizen, Chris, as much as I love it here, your opinion is 100% spot on. Thank you, TY. I know Sweden. I've been to Sweden. Yep. I've stayed in a prison in Sweden. Not as a criminal. There's a youth hostel in Stockholm that's an old federal prison. It's on the island there, one of the islands. I stayed there. And you stay in a cell. It's an actual cell. Boy, they were tiny. I wouldn't want to be a criminal there back in the day. But yeah, no, I've been to Sweden many times. Yep. You have to accept their cultural norms, but that's not the norm now, Napoleon. Tens of millions of people are coming to countries demanding. In Germany, they're demanding that they be allowed to play their minarets in waking people up at frickin' 6 o'clock in the morning, and they're demanding that Sharia law be applied. No, get the hell out. There's a place where Sharia law applies. It's not Germany. MK might claim that they represent the state because they're in parliament. No, I get where you're coming from, Unfiltered South, but that's a thin argument. I don't think it'd work. So MK is just, yeah, they're retarded. I call them the Mumpara of the week. Okay, understand all the questions, refuge stuff, make it annoying, but I think the people are just excited. I got it, Bill, but I've been answering these questions thousands of times, and I think I've been very patient, and I'm still being patient. Any person immigrating to another country should accept the laws. Agreed. Okay. Only job I ever had was when I went to work in the state for a year when I was 20. And in what world did I get a job in the States but not my own country? That is crazy, Roxanne. Renell, there's the fact sheet from the embassy. Understand all the questions, okay? Andre Luis Otto, think us Afrikaners can promote you to general. Yeah, thank you. It's very kind of you. Wouldn't mind being a general. Yeah, but there were no jobs for generals, no general jobs in my career field. Yellow book on the shelf, what is it? What yellow book? What yellow book? Here? Which one? There's a bunch of yellow books. This one? Molly Hemingway, how the media, big tech, and Democrats seized our elections. This is nothing. I've got thousands of books in the basement. Basement's full of books. Okay, Dom85 says, thank you. You're welcome. My Nana was a Zulu. She spoke Afrikaans. Because she helped us, she was ostracized. I grew up with her kids. My mom worked low-paying jobs to support us all. People need to wake up. They do, PK. They do. Yep. Carillions are outlawed. What the hell's that? Elon is really tweeting a lot about South African farmers. Okay, I haven't seen any of that, so I'm going to have to go look at that awkwardly on. They can import the Gazans here. What's the pension gap between Colonel Brigadier? Well, the pension gap is dependent on time and service and your rank. So the difference in pay for me to be a Brigadier General was probably something on the order of $3,000 would be my guess. I could be wrong when I retired per month. I probably would have made about $2,000 or $3,000. So maybe 40, 60,000 rand or more a month. I know, Mike, you're in Pennsylvania, but probably, yeah, $2,000 or $3,000 a month more in pay. But and you get it based on your last 36 months. So if I'd spent 3 years in that pay grade making that kind of money, my retirement would be significantly larger. But you get a percentage of that. So if you stay 20 years, you get 50% of your base pay, which is only a portion of your compensation. So you got to remember that. And you still have to pay taxes on it. So you walk away with about 35% of which you, like, let's say you had $100 last month in the Army, you get out now, you might have $35 after your pension and then the taxes on the pension. So, but as a Brigadier General, I would probably take home about $2,000 a month more so than I make now. So, no, not everyone here's enough. Oh, okay, anyway. It's golden again. There are a lot of rumblings going on this side. I think everyone knows now. It's getting exciting. Hope things go well. Big shots are all screaming. Yeah, they are. Nobody would care about USA rugby. Perhaps your children might even play college football. Due to BE, we are always overqualified trying to apply for jobs. Past 15 years of working for ourselves, pretty sure our skills are more beneficial in America. S-Box, I've done some research. People cross the borders illegally because of fear. Borders only allowing a certain no at a time. Tradition. Well, I don't care if people are crossing the border for fear. They have no right to be here. You don't have a right to come here and flood my neighborhoods and bring hepatitis and diseases and cultural anomalies. Nope, SBOC. It doesn't matter. You can do your research. I know why people come here. They come here because it's the best country in the world. While we have our politicians saying systemic racist is an evil country, they're full of crap. People come here because it's the best country in the world, hands down. There is no question. There's no dispute whatsoever. I don't want to hear that, the Swedes have longer life expectancy and the Finns are the happiest people in the world. Yeah, but they all live in freaking isolation in little tiny lakes in the middle of nowhere unless they live in freaking Helsinki or Turku. Give me a break. This is the land of opportunity despite the effort by communists to destroy it. It's being restored now. People come here because they're economic migrants for an opportunity. And it's all fine and dandy if you come here legally. We are the most generous people in the world. 750,000 people are naturalized in this country every year becoming American citizens. Raise the right hand. Place your hand on the Bible. The other one on the Bible. There you go. Raise the right hand. I do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution to the best of my ability against all enemies, foreign and domestic, yada, yada, yada. And they become American citizens. Nobody, the rest of the world combined, doesn't come up with half that number of people naturalized every year. So I know why people come here. I don't care if they're persecuted or if they're suffering or if they can't get a job in their hometown. It doesn't give them the right to come here. I can't go live in New Zealand just because I want to. I have to comply with their laws. I have to enter legally. I have to jump through the hoops. And trust me, in New Zealand, if you want to live there, the hoops for Americans are way up here. Very bigoted against Americans living there. Even wealthy Americans have a hard time living in New Zealand. Most wealthy Americans have a home in New Zealand and one back in the States, and they spend 6 months in New Zealand and they have to leave and they come back to the States because they're very unfriendly. South Africans have a far easier time getting there because you're part of the Commonwealth. Good. I'll have to check out the Elon stuff and see if I can't get his attention. That's right, Charles. I did sing with Steve Hofmeyer. Did somebody mention Steve Hofmeyer? Yeah, somebody asked me in the last stream I should get Steve Hofmeyer on the program. I had Steve on the program. In fact, I wrote to him early and said, man, people are pestering me to get you back on the program. I don't think he wrote to me, though. Franz Kronia just wrote to me. Get right back to him. Okay, I'm looking to see if I heard from Steve. Nope, I haven't heard from Steve. He's probably busy. Police do not pay into this. What? They have strong unions to negotiate. There was all kinds of police, Mike. You got to be careful you make that broad statement. There's park police. They have the thrift savings plan. There's FBI. There's customs. There's immigration police. There's ICE agents. There's sheriffs. There's local police departments. There's all kinds of them. So we can't make a blanket statement. Next person to get on your show is Willem Petzer, and after that, it's Ernst Rhodes. Why do I need to get Willem Petzer on the program for the full story? What does Willem Petzer know about this? And Ernst Rhodes has been on the program, and I've hosted Ernst Rhodes here in the States, and I've also been hosted at AfriForum on multiple occasions. I haven't asked Ernst Rhodes to come on right now because AfriForum is being targeted by very people who come in my chat, and I don't want to have my guests come on and be attacked by my audience. So I haven't asked Ernst or Ernst van Sale to come on because right now, I mean, the last stream I did, all these people are attacking AfriForum baselessly. Well, they don't speak for me. Well, they didn't claim they spoke for you. I watched the video that people said I need to watch. I watched this an hour-plus press conference. I didn't see anything where AfriForum said, we speak for all Afrikaners. We refuse your offer. That's not what they said. That's not what they said. People are hearing what they want to hear. If Willem Petzer wants to come on the program, I'll be happy to have him on. He was here 5 years ago. Last I heard, he was trying to come up with a scheme to not pay taxes in South Africa. I haven't heard from him since then. But he's welcome to come on the program. So you also have a tax-free savings investment like the UK's ISA. We do have for retirement. Wope. Wat is wope? Wat is wope? What is hope? What is hope? Michael Ferrer became a member. Thank you for that. Wat is wope? Well, we do, Truth Seeker. So we have a Roth IRA. On a Roth IRA, you put your money, thank you, Looney Binson. You put your money after taxes into a retirement account, and then when the money comes out, you pay no taxes on it, which is awesome. Slap Chappies, thank you for your membership. Yeah, so did somebody give the memberships? Yeah, somebody gave memberships. Who did that? I'm going to recognize that person. That was TY. Thank you for gifting the memberships, TY. Yeah, so you put it into Roth IRA. Callum Jakeman, thank you. So you put it in a Roth IRA, and then when the money comes out, it's not taxable. Whereas I have a thrift savings plan, and that money is not taxed, but that's only for government employees. That money is not taxed when it goes into my retirement account, so I pay no taxes. It helps me now, although I don't have a government job right now, so it does nothing for me. When I was in the Army, I could put the money in there. It goes into that account, and then when I withdraw it, I have to pay taxes. And the idea behind that is that ostensibly, when you're older, your income is lower, and you're in a lower tax bracket. The whole thing is, it's all the taxation's a scam. It's theft of people's hard earnings. The law is that whatever the ANC says it is. Yeah, there you go. This is from the American Embassy. The United States will establish a plan to resettle minorities. Yep, that's the Colonel has actually sung with Steve Hofmeyer. I did, the Ballad of the Green Beret, and I'm a terrible singer. Couldn't put it on YouTube because I got a copyright strike. Can you believe that? I got a copyright strike for me singing a song with Steve Hofmeyer at Velbedocht. What a demonic, demented platform this is. That song is not copyrighted. If it was sung by the original artist, yes, but not the song. It was a cover version. Good God. Edward says, myself, I feel welcome here. Welcome, Edward. It's fascinating. I'm going to read up on it. I'm trying to get in touch with Germanic roots. Best at what? What are we talking about? I've heard in Sunday's Business with Neil DeBeer that a parliamentarian tweeted. Yeah, I asked Neil about that, okay? I haven't heard back from Neil either. I wrote to Neil this morning, and he must be very busy today. So let me see if I've heard back from Neil. Where's Neil at? Come on. He did read my message, but he didn't respond. Okay. After these 4 years, every law will be overturned by SC. Wrong, Pablo Charlie. Stop trolling. You're going to get spanked for that. People are not here for games. Well, there'll be no tax on overtime. That's what Trump's putting in the bill as long as Congress passes it. No tax on Social Security benefits, which is sinful to tax that. Lots of Afrikaners have Scots blood. Okay, no knowledge of. Okay, familiar with municipal. Yeah, there you go. Okay, is there a chance other countries could follow the U.S.? There's a chance, but I wouldn't hold my breath. How many languages can you speak? Adele van der Berg, I speak 6 languages to varying degrees of proficiency. There's a couple others that I know in, kitchen language for, like Italian, but I don't speak Italian, but I can get by. In fact, I used Italian in Romania because I don't speak Romanian, and I was in Romania on a backpacking trip doing research on ethnic Germans in 1998, and I needed the bank. And so Romanian and Italian are very close because the Romans settled Romania, hence the name Romania. And so I got off the train in the middle of nowhere in this little village, and I'm looking for a bank to change my Deutschmarks, because it was still Deutschmarks, not euros, into Romanian lei. And I said, Dove la bank? And the guy told me in Romanian where to go, and I understood him, and I found the bank a few blocks away, and I cashed my money there. It's pretty wild. Smith says he doesn't agree with me about AfriForum. My point is that their message Trump could possibly cause Trump. No, it won't. No, it won't. No, it won't. Stop. No, it's not going to happen. You give them way too much credit, and you also think that Trump is dictated to by civic organizations in South Africa. Not going to happen, but you're welcome to disagree with me, Smee. Just a thought, but media replies to the executive order highlights who are actually... Exactly, Michael. Yeah, their responses show who the true racists are. Yep. Isn't the NFL scripted? I have no idea, Mr. Sergeant Duck. I don't watch it anymore. S-Box says, good conversations. That's how we learn. I ask questions. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you're right, S-Box. Fair questions. What other sports than rugby do you like? Well, I used to love the NFL. I love baseball. Ice hockey is about my favorite, though. I love ice hockey. Yep. Will it be a I don't care for Formula One. Anna Marie Nell will leave the channel now. I don't really get into UFC. Boxing doesn't do it for me. Changes come to grid now that we have helmets to tackle with. Would love to come and search for some of my family. Okay. Name is Pearson. Well, that's interesting. All right. So 65% of the 642 votes said that they would like to take advantage of it. All right. So, guys, 2 hours and 35 minutes. I need to knock off here and take a break. Please go watch my other videos, especially the one about MK, what I said about that. Yep. Cool. Yep. Tony, yeah, Pablo, would you do it again? Well, that's okay. He loves football, so he can have that. That's not a problem. Donald Trump is being incredibly generous to Afrikaans speaking South Africans. J.D. Vance shows ability, he pulls his weight. He could be the next president. I agree. He could. All right, guys, have a good night. Thanks for being here. Look for more content. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day. If you haven't watched Ronaldo's broadcast, I think he had a conscious caracal, Ernst Funsale from AfriForum on there. Feel free to go watch that, okay? And thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. Have a good night. Thank you all for the super chats, the 13 new members, those who signed up on their own, plus the gifts, the 770 likes, the 6,876 people tuned in. The average view time is 13 minutes and 19 seconds. Anything over 10 minutes for a live stream is a very good one, particularly one this long. And you're very welcome all. For those catching feelings, we all have human value. Do the math. If only a minority, the majority. Okay, gotcha. All right, you're all very welcome. God bless and take care. And I'll leave you with this video. So if you want to, people always want to know a little bit more about me. Here's a little video about me. Cheers. I hope you enjoy it.
Hold me close. close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. See the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And
This morning I'm sharing the stage with guinea fowl, and quite a few of them, as you can see. Sharing the stage with guinea fowl and barking dogs in a residential area here in Somerset West.